Build it, live it. The Rendition Way. renditionhomes.com.au.
Get the garden you want at Garden Grove. Wander through Garden Grove's beautiful nursery, blooming with thousands and thousands of plants, greenery and all the colours of the rainbow. There are plants for inside and plants for out. For the garden you want, see Garden Grove. Golden Grove Road, Golden Grove.
Garden Grove, that's the garden. Garden Grove, that's the garden. Garden Grove, the garden that I want.
Phone 8251 1111 for delivery to all areas.
It's all go at Adelaide's newest family-owned Hyundai dealer, Wayville Hyundai. This end of financial year, choose 3 years free scheduled servicing or $2,000 off in-stock vehicles. Change the way you Hyundai at Wayville Hyundai, driven by Australian Motors. T's and C's apply.
The news and information that matters. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Showers with a possible storm this afternoon, a shower or two tomorrow, 16. With the 4 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher. Elective surgery restrictions have eased further. From 5 p.m, hospitals in Adelaide and surrounding areas will resume planned day surgeries. Non-urgent Category 2 and 3 surgeries will remain on pause. But CEO of SA Health, Dr Robin Lawrence, says it means the majority of surgeries will be back up and running.
The short stay surgery, day surgery and 23-hour surgery is the bulk of our surgery. So hence why we've been able to say we've got approximately 90% of our surgery capacity back up and running now. So the last bit is a very small percentage comparatively to what's now back in place.
Meantime, Health Minister Mark Butler and his state counterparts met in Adelaide today to discuss the increasing pressure on the health system. The Australian War Memorial in Canberra has been vandalised. 3 areas of the monument have been spray-painted with pro-Palestinian slogans. It happened in the early hours of this morning. Retired Commando Officer Heston Russell says it's not a constructive way to express a view.
It's a very special place. Everyone who joins the military, we go there, and I have mates up on the wall, so it's pretty much the most sacred place for me and many veterans that you could have in Australia. And it's definitely not a place for such political activism, that's for sure.
The teenager accused of stabbing a bishop in Sydney's southwest has now also been charged with attempted murder. The 16-year-old was charged with committing a terrorist act after Bishop Mari Emmanuel was stabbed. He has now also been charged with wounding with intent to murder and wounding with intent to cause grievous bodily harm. The Labor Party is being urged not to accept donations from the CFMEU amid a stoush between the union and the AFL. Controversial union boss John Setka is demanding the league sack its head of umpiring, who used to be the Building and Construction Commissioner. But the AFL is standing by Steve McBurney. Shadow Workplace Minister Michaelia Cash says Labor needs to stop taking money from the union.
There are 4.3 million reasons as to why Mr Albanese and Mr Burke will not come out and properly condemn Mr Setka for the bullying, the thuggery and the intimidation that he is currently showing.
With the Chinese Premier set to visit Australia this weekend, it's hoped some progress will be made on the resumption of lobster exports. Andrew Ferguson from Ferguson Lobsters has his fingers crossed.
I haven't heard anything for a number of years until now. The authorities in China now are talking to the Australian authorities about that. So that part to me sends, positive feelings that there is something being done about that.
Popular Chinese fast fashion retailer Shine is hiking prices by more than a third. Australians are among the biggest consumers of the brand in the world. It's maximising revenues ahead of a public share offer. And rangers on Queensland's Fraser Island are searching for an untagged dingo which bit a child. The 2-year-old boy was with his family getting into the car when he was attacked. He's been treated for puncture wounds to the thigh. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Charge at home and you're free to roam. Visit bcevchargers.com.au.
Port Adelaide is preparing a trip to Blacktown to take on the Giants on Sunday, while the Crows take on ladder leaders Sydney at home tomorrow night. Tonight, it's the Lions v St Kilda at the Gabba, and the game will be live on 5AA. Western Bulldogs coach Luke Beveridge is backing skipper Marcus Bontempelli to overcome illness for their clash with Freo tomorrow. New Zealand have been knocked out of the T20 World Cup as a result of Afghanistan defeating Papua New Guinea by 7 wickets. And Patrick Cantlay and Rory McIlroy are top of the leaderboard at 5 under after the opening round of the US Open. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Copper is critical to the energy transition, and the responsible production of SA copper is happening now at BHP.
Right, it's super wet this afternoon with some passing storms to look out for that. And we've got some flooding over the road to Knarlsworth, Main North Road near Jones Street. A crash at Brooklyn Park, so Donald Bradford Drive near the airport. Manhole covers open at Prospect at the moment. Prospect Road near Alpha Road, really slow going. And a burst of automated symbol for South Military Road near Eden Street. Got a camera to the Grove Way at Salisbury Heights. Dan Murphy's don't match prices, they beat them. Butcher's Fran Barossa Shiraz, $13 for My Dan's members. Ends Sunday. Choose to drink wise. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Showers with a possible storm this afternoon, a shower or two tomorrow, 16. Sunday, partly cloudy, 17. 16 again on Monday. Right now it's 15 degrees. Now let's check what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Brenton Raglis. Tonight, the latest on our hospitals crisis as sicknesses surge across the state. Adelaide's rising property values, even interest rates can't stop it. Now we're one of the least affordable cities in the world. Internet prices about to rise, the simple step to big savings. And why the cost of our orange juice could double. 9 News, your news, nightly at 6 on 9 and on 9 Now.
Streaming live via the 5AA Player app on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. This is 5AA, always Adelaide. The 5AA Sports Show.
Get around the little fuck!
Stephen Rowe and Tim Jennifer.
Yeah, good afternoon on this Friday. Round 14 begins tonight. 2 very important games coming up for our local teams. It is Footy Friday for Rusden Wines in the Barossa Valley, home of the Blackgut Shiraz. Go to rusdenwines.com.au. Stephen Rowe, Tim Jennifer, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody, and thanks for your company. It is the middle of June, so we're right in the heart of football season, and before we get into the Adelaide and Port Adelaide Football Club's round of football, Stephen Rowe, I welcome you, but I just want to say what a fantastic event it was there with Mark Micken and peddling for the fight against Parkinson's. I thought it was excellent. The fundraising was even more exceptional than the people riding themselves. It was quite an amazing event.
Yeah, so the Mark Micken ride for Parkinson's, we're down there yesterday. So thank you firstly to our station for allowing us to do that, because you throw the show over a bit. I don't know
and it was good.
whether there's a lot for the listeners, but it's about charity, and I am pleased to announce that after the 12 teams 24-hour stationary bike ride at Adelaide Oval, they raised, collectively, we're all a part of it, $101,000 and counting.
Oh.
Now that is a magnificent...
101,000! That's brilliant. Well
so,
done.
again, thanks to all the teams, to all the riders, the volunteers, the Parkinson's nurses gave of their time to be there for the 24 hours, the Hospital Research Foundation, what a great job they do, the SAMFL, and mainly the rubbers. You got to have the Pied Piper. He was it.
Correct.
He was there. He's a great man. And I think that was testimony to him and his character, his integrity, and what he means to our state, that many people can come together over that period and get behind it and do it. So, to everyone, great work, and thank you again to our station for allowing us to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And the people that did the graveyard
Yeah,
shift as
my
well.
word.
That were, well done to them as well.
Fantastic.
And I got a great idea, because Tez's and Timmy and Terry's tips come up later on. I can double their money for them. So get on board on race number.
Hang on.
Only joking.
Imagine,
Only joking.
let it ride. Put 100. Rubbers loves you.
Imagine
Rubbers
that.
is listening. Rubbers put 101,000
Race
on
5,
Timmy.
number 5.
There you go.
Murray Bridge.
Responsibly,
Certain
everybody.
thing. Oh, dear,
no.
oh dear. Imagine that. Oh, God, that would be horrendous. We wouldn't do that to you, Rubbers. Great effort.
Well done, Rubbers. Love you.
We spoke last night, and I thought one of your, and you're getting so wise, which I'm getting a bit scared of. You're getting so wise. You're saying a lot of sensible things. And this one was, if we were to beat Sydney, that would be so Adelaide.
So Adelaide.
And I loved it, because the moment you've said that, the more ambitious I think Crow supporters and even myself have gone, you know what, could it?
But I have more confidence on our best for longer against a top 4 team than I do against the bottom 4 team.
Well, Matthew Nix was asked about it, and you know what? You just got to believe.
We have belief in ourselves. We've got a good young group that are just firing to get out there again. And as I mentioned before, when you do have, a few that are maybe going to put themselves up for selection again this week, and there's some experience in amongst that, that brings some belief to the group.
Of course it does.
Yeah. You got to believe.
I've got a few
to
questions.
receive.
You do. Rory Laird, is he 100% fit?
Yeah, it's a worry.
And he must be, because I look at the emergencies and there's no direct one-for-one
Midfielder replacement.
unless a Dowling comes off a half-forward flank and goes there. But anyway, I hope he's okay, because he'll need to be. I'll give you some names: Warner, Heaney, Goulden. I'll stop there.
Good names.
Who's second ruck? Is it going to be Ball Ace? Is it going to be Nick Murray? Surely they wouldn't risk Nick Murray. Looks like Ball Ace.
I was going to say, young Ball Ace did it in the finals last year for the Sandford team and did very well.
He did. They're small front six, so it's Fogg, and I'm going to call him his little helpers. Rankin, Rochelle, Cook, Murphy, Dowling and co. So it shows that maybe Ball Ace will be the second tall, because he was last week.
Yep.
Or is my prediction of Nick Murray up front a possibility?
There you go.
But they do need another tall.
Yeah, and I think you're right to be one of those. Look, some big selection calls were made, and unfortunately for Brodie Smith, he was one of the guys that had to go out. Here he is himself, a little frustrated.
The frustration's only at myself. I'm just annoyed that, I guess, as you're saying, my game's been sort of there, but it needs to be up there if I want to stay in the side. As I said, I've been okay, but I'm not impacting games the way I want to.
So I like that. He's a senior player. He gets it. He's been around there.
He's a pro.
And he's a pro, and he'll work his way back into the team. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
He's a pro.
The only thing that really concerned me was follow-up question and response. Really worried me. He's not excited about the online response to him being dropped.
It's almost being celebrated on social media, which does hurt. I'm only out there trying to do my best and play the best footy I can, and as I said, help these young guys out. So to see some of the stuff online, some of it's almost getting a bit hateful, which is sad to see.
B. Smith, get off social media.
Yeah, well, that's number one piece of advice is don't look at it. I think that's number one piece of advice. Don't look at it.
They don't know you, B. Smith. They don't even listen.
But secondly, what is wrong with people? They get onto some sort of social media platform and think they can just vent their spleen at the most horrible, end of the spectrum and attack somebody who's only given pure service to his footy club and is just unfortunately out of form.
That happens.
He doesn't want to play badly.
No.
He doesn't want to lose games of football. Don't take your personal, what would you say, unhappiness and vomit it all over social media at a guy that has just given everything for his club.
It is just a platform of hate. It's a race to the bottom.
It is sometimes.
No, it does nothing.
And look, if
I've never been on it.
If that's not an alternative, tell them all to get... Anyway, let's move on.
Timmy, great professionalism.
There you go. Hey, Josh Rochelle here joins our Brekkie team all the time, and he was sort of asked, well, how do you beat these Swans?
What we've been playing the last couple of years, our brand has been our contest, and that's something that we've been lacking a lot lately. So we had a bit of a reminder about that and what we stand as a football club, and it was definitely on show when we trained a couple of days ago.
There you go. So that's the formula.
Bring the heat.
Yeah. Hey, mate, before we move on to Port Adelaide, we love our listener interaction and unique home-style food texts. They're always flying in and we love them. And you can call on 8223 0000. But if you're looking at the Foodland Facebook live stream, the questions come through from Dan. Rowey, what is that on your head? Now, you do look a bit like Gilligan's Island. You look like good old Gilligan himself.
Love Gilligan. No, I'm wearing
it's the old Terry Toweling
hat.
Yeah.
It's a white one.
Where'd you find it?
Well, it was sitting on Pembo's chair.
Yeah, it's a fishing hat.
Pembo would rock this.
Yeah.
I haven't had one of these for ages.
Yeah.
I'm channeling DK Lilly.
Oh, yeah?
R. Bacchus Marsh.
Yeah, well...
G. Chapel.
You know what? You're not getting connected.
Aren't I?
No.
Get on the Foodland live
channeling,
stream.
but there's no answer.
Thumbs up or thumbs down for my brand new, stolen from Pembo's brekkie desk. What do you call it? I thought they were
Terry Toweling.
Terry Toweling.
Terry
Toweling.
Terry Toweling. Bucket hat.
Little DK Lilly.
Yeah, get some Dunlop volleys with that and you'll be away. Beautiful. The Port Adelaide team will drop at 4:30. We'll know exactly who's in and who's out. But Ken Hinkley said he's more excited about actually trying to get the band back together.
I'm really looking forward to our midfield getting a chance to be together for a period of time, and I feel like for the last 6 or 7 weeks there's been a disruption and interruption, and that it hasn't really had time to gel together and play as well as they would, and that includes Ivan Soldo not being there, Connor's basically been in and out for 6 weeks. The games he has played, he's basically been injured early in those games. It's a good opportunity for us to get better from here, I think, around the ball.
It's fair call, I think, with Rosie not really being there for a month.
I agree with that. I've had a bit of a theory against teams. You've got Rosie, JHF and Butters. They can all pick a game up by the scruff of the neck. And when you're challenged in the midfield, they all individually do that. And great on them. But they've got to do it as a unit. I look at Sydney's midfield, which is probably equivalent to Port's. I think Port's is slightly better. But they always do it as a team. It's called method around the contest. Your method around the contest, because of those three blokes being so competitive and want to doing it on their own, they don't do it as a unit.
Yeah.
I reckon if they can get that right, that's your spike right there.
You know,
they've got to get better method around the contest when they're down.
I reckon one of the greatest compliments I heard about Josh Carr, and we're talking 20 years since they won that 04 flag, was from Josh Franco, who did his knee in that year and didn't play. He came back the following year. Josh Carr had gone to Fremantle, and Josh Franco said the most pivotal piece in the midfield that was missing was Josh Carr, because he was so unselfish.
That's right.
In blocking so that Lade could do his work, and so Franco or Burgoyne or whatever can get through. Josh Carr was the sacrifice.
He'll get it, and you'll get it right. And when you do you feel that?
Oh, yeah.
They just do it individually. No, that's not knocking them.
But they've
got to learn to do it together with the right method.
There was an article in the paper about good things come in threes. And we'll talk to Treaders about it, because they were talking about Geelong's heyday of 2010, 2011, Collingwood in that era, and saying about their big three players.
Brisbane's.
And now comparing it to Sydney's, which is Goulden and Warner and Heaney. But I reckon there's more to it than just that. And that's why I want to talk to Treaders about after 5. So I reckon the ruckman might be pretty important too.
You get that right, that's your spot.
Now, Charlie Dixon's out. We sort of got warmed up for that, I reckon, during the week and the way that rolled out. But it came down to form. But Ken says, look, he's out, but he's hungry to get back.
We've managed as well as we could through this year, but eventually form takes over and form becomes your issue, and what you've got to have is an appetite to get back. And there is absolutely no question in my mind that Charlie has a great appetite and wants to get back and play good footy and contribute strongly for us at AFL level in the remaining part of this year, which I'm sure he'll be able to do.
So his replacement will be young Ollie Lord, coming back in after 3 weeks, and here's Ken on Ollie.
We're optimistic around what Ollie's got for us as a footy club when he's part of our plans going forward, and we'd like to think he can be very good as a key position forward. He is absolutely, in the future, not today, he's Charlie's clear replacement for the way he plays. He plays very similar.
So there you go. It's 1 for 1, so maybe the two of them don't play in the same team.
Well, knowing Ken and that coaching group, this isn't a 1 week thing for Lord. He's got a good month. He gets a good month. Charlie might be just licking his lips in the twos.
Okay, see how that goes. He also spoke about Will Lorenz, who could be a possible debutant.
Will's, he's quite a promising young player, and we really like what he does around the ball. He's great in traffic. He stays calm. He's got a bit of composure that we like, and he tends to use the ball pretty well most of the time.
Most of the time?
Yeah.
That wasn't all the time.
Well, he's young.
So who will he tip out?
Look, if he made his debut, it means probably Williams doesn't play. Burton being out, so it probably means that would be the go. Whether that happens, it's a Sunday game, take him over.
Can he lock down on a small forward?
And that's probably a role you might have to play.
You need someone to put a little fella to bed.
Yeah, well, Kane Farrell probably is doing that
Lucy
currently.
for me.
So, yeah, I think at the moment he's more creative than that. So
okay.
We'll see what happens. Hey, we a bit of hoo-ha in the last couple of days with Josh Hazelwood's comments about the T20 and maybe doing a go slow against Scotland and making sure that the English team didn't get through. Well, tell you what, Captain Pat Cummins, he put that to bed.
I was speaking to Josh, he had a bit of a joke about it the other day, and I think it got taken a little bit out of context, but no, we'll go out there and just try and play. Scotland have had a really good tournament so far, so they're going to be tough. It's something you kind of discuss as one of the quirks, I think, of the setup, but in terms of does it change the way we play, absolutely not.
Yeah, that's what we want to hear.
Of course it is.
No funny buggers, no go slow, none of that business. Get on with the business of winning and just play whoever's in front of you.
The thing that you could do is when you're at the smorgasbord the night before the game, you all just eat a dodgy Vindaloo and you might have a bit of the...
Yeah.
There might be 8 out.
Yeah. Yeah, you couldn't just,
Well, that's legit.
How do you hide that?
Yeah.
How do you prove that was an accident?
Yeah, couldn't just miss the team bus. Yeah, just had to go down
Nah,
there.
you know what? I'm the exact opposite. I want England in there, and I want to meet them in there, and I want to knock them off.
Well, that's the spirit. That's the sort of thing you
Timmy,
want to hear.
I'm a changed man.
He's back.
Don't flirt with your form. Isn't that a famous
The man
saying?
in the hat is back.
It's on the Foodland live stream as well if you want to get a look at Rowey in his new bucket hat today, the terry toweling. He's rocking it for Footy Friday for Rusden Wines, which is filled tonight. Warren Treadray is going to join us live in studio. We have Matthew Lobey very shortly when Port Adelaide announced their full team at 4:30, and Jack Homps from the Crows. We have Brian Cunningham to join us for a special reason, and Terry McAuliffe with his tips for the weekend. 8223 0000. That's the number if you want to win our Rusden Blackgut Shiraz prize tonight.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show. Join Rowey and Timmy G in the studio every afternoon with 5AA's live video stream of the Sports Show. Thanks to Foodland. With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Harvey Norman clearance on now. Grab a bargain on selected floor stock furniture. Up to 40% off lounges, dining, outdoor furniture and barbecues. Smart TVs priced to clear. Save over $500 on Samsung 65-inch The Frame QLED. Now under $2,000. The latest tech on sale. Save up to 30% on Windows 11 computers. Big brand mattresses, price breakthrough. Australian-made memory foam mattress now from just $1,399. Harvey Norman clearance. Best brands, best range, at the best price guaranteed. Conditions apply.
Guessing your pick from a deck of cards is tricky. Awkward social situations, also tricky. Finding the perfect Volkswagen, easy at Mawson Lakes Volkswagen's end of financial year sale. You can get first pick on a massive range of new and demo Volkswagens available for delivery right now. Loads of colours, loads of options, on-site finance and next day servicing. Easy, just get in before June 30. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, just a short drive from the city.
Hey, Stephen, would you like to score yourself a bonus Cooper's long neck at Sip and Save?
Yes, I would, Timothy.
Yes, you would. What would you do that?
Why did you call me Stephen? Very.
It was very.
No one
official.
calls me Stephen.
No, Rowey.
Caro.
Yeah. Purchase any 24-pack bottles of participating Cooper's beer now and receive a bonus 750ml long neck of the same Cooper's beer.
That's great.
I grew up watching my old man neck one of them.
Yeah, there you go. So to help you out this weekend, Sip and Save have got 24 packs of Cooper's Pale Ale for $57.99. Now throw the long neck on that, and that really reduces
it. I love the sparkling ale.
I know
I've got
you
to be
do.
in the mood.
Yeah.
Can't go hard. You've got to pace yourself with it, the red label.
Yeah, don't go sculling along.
Oh, no, it'll slap you.
Mm.
Before you know it, it's, hey, hello. Timmy, hello.
You're sparkling.
We're in the game here. Cooper Sparkling Ale, 24 packs. God, I love that. I was weaned on that for just $62.99. And a Cooper's Mild Ale, 24 pack, just $49.99.
They're bargains. You can always expect more from Sip and Save. More deals, more range, more service.
And they're everywhere.
Yeah.
That's what I love about them. Sip and Save. There's more in store. Only available while stocks last. Drink responsibly.
G'day, it's Rory Sloan. When you buy a Leader computer, you're buying a computer made in Adelaide. You're dealing with people that live in Adelaide. And when it comes to servicing or support, it all happens in Adelaide. Not overseas, not interstate. Leader don't have to send anything off for repair. They take care of everything here. So grow your business and get behind a Leader. Leader Computers, find your local dealer at leadersystems.com.au.
When you buy from Southern Steel Supplies, you're buying from a company forged right here in SA. For over 40 years, Southern Steel Supplies has supported those building our great state, from major construction projects to DIY around the home. If it's steel you need, Southern Steel Supplies has it all, including processing and delivery. Southern Steel Supplies, Lonsdale, Murray Bridge, Gawler and Renmark. southernsteelsupplies.com.au, the South Australian Steel Company.
$2 usually sounds like, but with the People First Community Lottery, $2 could sound more like. Get your $2 tickets today for a chance to win a Toyota Kluger Hybrid at communitylottery.com.au. T's and C's apply. SA Lottery licence number M14521.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Welcome back at 24 minutes after 4. It is our Footy Friday for Rusden Wines. Our best caller tonight wins a bottle of Rusden Blackgut Shiraz, which is very, very popular, so get him fast, 8223 0000. Port's team selection at 4:30, so very shortly we'll chat with Matthew Lobey to go through all their calls. And now let's check your roads. For top brand tailor-fitted men's suits and casual wear, see Ignition for Men at 54 Paynham Road at Stepney.
G'day, that rain is causing big delays to Savo. Got a nasty crash at Kerry Gully. It's on the freeway up track near Old Kerry Gully Road. Super slow going, delays back past Stirling. Another crash at Brooklyn Park, so Donald Braber Drive near the airport, and got flooding over the road at Nailsworth. That's Main North Road near Jones Street. Camera 2, May Terrace at Brooklyn Park. Get more of what you want this end of financial year. Shop the offers at Harvey Norman, Domain and Joyce Main. Shop now and check out with Afterpay. T's and C's apply. Visit afterpay.com for full terms. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
All righty, I've got a unique homestyle food text for you.
Yes. Yeah, Trucker Pete. I like Trucker Pete.
And well done too, mate. It says, Brodie Smith, you will never meet a hater doing better than you are. So you're a champion and a loyal Crows servant. Good on you, mate. And backing him in. One for you, Rowey says, what do the Crows do if they don't show up tomorrow night and lose, says Rob. What do they do?
Well, I'm not contemplating that.
Okay. That's
the way they go about it tomorrow for me. Yeah. Hey, just on City, they average 10 goals a game. We know that from turnover. The clear best in the land. Crows are the clear worst at that.
Right.
So that's one.
Not a bad combo.
That's an area they've got to get better. Bit of ball security might not help. Here's the one that Tuggers gave me. Sydney have scored 6 goals in a row 8 times this year. It's called momentum. So when they get momentum, they fill their boots up. And they can, because look at the talent they got. Crows defending momentum swings this year, so that's defending them, and it's a big thing in a game.
Correct.
And generally, if you've got good experience and good leaders, and you've got a reasonable team defence, you can get the momentum back. Where 9 of their 13, they've allowed 4 or more goals to be kicked against them. So Sydney's strength, again, is the Crows' weakness. They're saying all of that, they're just as likely to win.
Crows,
I can't wait for tomorrow.
It's Sydney also, because we spoke to Ollie
Florent
yesterday. They're also the best red time team. So they score the most in red time, which is time on. So they can really pour it on when you just start to relax and think about quarter time. Well, don't do that because they'll kick 3 or 4 on you. So they're an exciting mob to watch, no doubt about that.
It was interesting hearing Josh Rochelle on 5AA Breakfast this morning as well with Dave, and we'll talk about how the mindset has such a big play on how the Crows perform.
When we're playing the Collingwoods and the Sydneys this weekend, as I said, the build-up this week has been like we're about to play a massive final game. And I think because we know we have to be at that level, and I think when we're playing these games, when we're expected to win, we kind of go with that bit of, I guess, lack of grunt and kind of thinking that we're just going to get it done.
That's an interesting mindset, isn't it? You know, just to think that you roll out and win. I think that's a very immature and inexperienced mindset, and that can happen when you're young. So,
haven't they got a sports psychologist this year?
They've had more.
I think most clubs do
this year.
Year on year, I think.
Well,
they
whoever
do.
it is, I'd sack them.
Oh,
well, they're clearly not doing a good job.
Yeah.
Well, they've increased.
Well, expectation got them. They admitted that.
Yeah, they've increased their psychology sort of side to their training this year to try and help with this mindset training, which I suppose Cornsy's been on the line of for quite some time now. He's been talking about this exact issue with the Crows.
It's the way you go about it, because the thing about having an expectation to win, whether it be the bottom side or the top, when you play on the bottom side, it's more about the preparation of that, and then not allowing yourself to fall into complacency, actually keeping yourself on the edge as you would playing the top side.
Just one quick unique homestyle food text. I do like this one. Timmy, Port Maggie's. Have they got that wooden spoon cabinet made yet from Sharman Shelving?
All right, just it's only halfway.
Oh, gee, you straighten up and stiffen up. Don't look at me like that.
Hang on to your hat.
Timmy, it's the text. It's here from Kevin Magel.
Yeah, good on you, Kev.
28.
Have a nice weekend. See you at Alberton tomorrow, Kev. Come on down.
Speak of Port Adelaide, we've got their assistant coach, Matt Lobey, and their team for the Giants game Sunday coming up next.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. David Penberthy and Will Goodies. 5AA Breakfast.
John Sedker, the Victorian CFMEU boss, demanding the AFL sack its head of umpiring, Stephen McBurney, not because he's unhappy with the umpiring performance, but because Steve McBurney was formerly the head of the ABCC, the building watchdog. John Sedker believes this bloke should never effectively work again. That's standover tactics, the likes of which we've rarely ever seen.
Adelaide's leading breakfast show.
This bloke had a job before. He's not a war criminal.
Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
You've signed a building contract. Work is underway on your dream home. Then, your builder hits rock while digging your footings. What happens? Most builders will send you a nice letter and then bump up their price with a variation. Not Rossdale Homes. When you sign their absolute fixed price contract, there are no hidden costs and no nasty surprises. It's the industry's strongest contract. So talk to Adelaide's most trusted builder, Rossdale Homes, because trust is a must.
Series Music is making history with Adelaide's biggest ever music sale. Well over $1 million worth of gear has been priced to clear. Get up to 60% off drums, up to 30% off electric guitars, bass guitars, amps and accessories, with discounts on keyboards, brass and woodwind PA systems and more. Series Music is so serious about clearing the entire store with over $1 million worth of gear priced to clear. In store only right now. This is a once only opportunity. Series Music, 41 McGill Road, Stepney.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Good afternoon, Mel Usher with the latest news headlines. 90% of elective surgeries in SA will be back online from 5 tonight. Canberra police are investigating after pro-Palestine slogans were graffitied on the Australian War Memorial. We could soon be paying more for orange juice at the checkout as overseas supplies dwindle. And in sport, tonight's round 14 opener in the AFL is the Lions and St Kilda at the Gabba. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Copper is critical to the energy transition, and the responsible production of SA copper is happening now at BHP.
Afternoon to Clearview, a crash, Hampstead Road near East Parkway, Kerry Gully, nasty crash there. It's on the freeway uptrack near Old Kerry Gully Road, really heavy delays back past Stirling at the moment. Breakdown at Leeward Gardens as well, freeway uptrack near the Devil's Elbow interchange, and flooding over the road at Nailsworth, Main North Road near Jones Street. The Adelaide Central Market is open today. Shop the best fresh local produce and cheap eats with over 70 traders under one roof. AdelaideCentralMarket.com. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast, a shower or two with a possible storm tonight, down to 9. A shower or two tomorrow, clearing later, 15. Right now, it's 16 degrees. We'll have more news at 5 and as it happens on 5AA.
Could you go 31 days without alcohol? Go dry this July and help raise funds for people affected by cancer. It's a small sacrifice to show your support. This is why we Dry July. Sign up today at dryjuly.com.
As we know, we know indeed that the housing crisis is not going anywhere soon. The headphones were turned off. No, I can't believe that. This is all about McGain's, of course. And if you're a landlord and you're looking to sell, well, you got a power of difference to make a really big difference.
You know what, Mike and Zoe don't deal in excuses, Timmy. You lost your paper, you weren't turned on, we get counted down into ads, and McGain pay a lot of money, have you, Reid?
And you know what? They have good support staff as well, McGain. Very good.
Yeah. They've got hundreds of landlords they're looking to buy right now. This is the great thing about McGain. So get in touch with the McGain team and sell your property to another landlord. And you'll be saving advertising fees. They can run into thousands of dollars.
Correct. It means your current tenants will have somewhere to live. The kids go to the same school. They hang out with their mates. It's all in the routine. So that's the most important thing at all, too. It's about the family.
Yep. Hundreds of landlords are ready to sell. They've got the power to make a big difference in the housing crisis, and McGain can help. There's only one name to remember, McGain. Visit mcgain.com.au.
Trumpets, please. The trumpets are sounding the final call for the Edwardstown Mazda end of financial year sale. Get our lowest ever drive-away offers, huge Mazda factory bonuses, plus an extra $2,000 trade-in bonus. And $1,000 in Edwardstown Mazda credit to spend however you'd like. The finale is fast approaching. Hurry, sale ends June 30.
It's gotta be
Edwardstown Mazda, the #1 destination for Mazda in SA.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
And we've come up with some real clear parts of our game that we'd like to see improve from this point on. There's also some parts of our game that we think's in really healthy position. As 8 and 4 puts you, it says that you're going okay. You're not flying, but you're going okay, and you need to get better if you're going to challenge, and that's what we need to do.
It's 26 minutes to 5. Treaders is coming up very soon for Footy Friday. Our best caller tonight gets a bottle of Rusden and Blackgut Shiraz, so get on the line, 8223 0000. And for the game against the Giants on the weekend, 4 changes have been made.
Yeah, before we go to Matty Lobe, just quickly a community service announcement on our text, and we thank everybody for doing so when there's road weather alerts. We've had a lot of rain, very slippery, there'll be a few prangs. This is from John. Oh, here's a community announcement. Can you tell all the people driving in the hills it's foggy, so turn your bloody lights on so we can see you coming, you dopes. Well done, John.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's how
nicely next time, John.
Forthright. Yeah.
No, but it is foggy up there, so drive carefully,
Good idea.
please.
Get those lights on. Yes, as you mentioned, in Connor Rosey, Dylan Williams, Ollie Lord, Quentin Narkle, out, Ryan Burton injured, and omitted Finlayson, Dixon Jones as we do go to the ruck coach and a development coach at Port Adelaide, Matthew Lobe. G'day, Matty.
G'day, guys. How you going?
Excellent, mate. Excellent. Ollie Lord comes in. How's that form been building for him in the last 3 weeks?
Building well. He's had a couple of good weeks, competing really hard. Probably his best game as well, the last one we played before the bye. So I think the coaches and the players are pretty excited to have him in after probably a slower build at the start of the year and a good couple of weeks recently.
That's good. With no Dicko and no Finlayson, who have you been working with as far as the next assistant for Ivan Soldo during the game? Will it be Ollie Lord?
Yeah, we've got a bit of flexibility there. Lordy is the obvious one. With the most height in the forward line, we've also played around with a few of the midfielders having a crack at it. We think that, based on the opposition, that works reasonably well. DWS look like they rock Riccardi a fair bit, who's solid but not overly tall, so can either go with Ollie or one of the mids.
Hey, Matty, I read during the week that Briggs, he's a monster of a man. He takes it out of the ruck contest more than anybody else in the comp. So there's an opportunity, I think, there obviously to get onto him pretty quickly because he likes to do it.
Yeah, he's a big boy and he sure does. It looks to me like he's got the licence to do that, which would be a nice way to play. Wasn't the same back in my day. But,
yeah, that's right.
He does do it and he has a big impact from it. I think his clearance numbers are right up there at the top of the AFL. So it's one of the things we've looked at already from a ruck point of view, but you're right. The midfielders need to be onto it at ground level as well.
Yes. If a Green or a Kelly or somebody like that gets going, do we switch like a Willem Drew and put the blanket on them? Or I know against Carlton we let it go. What will you be thinking against GWS?
Yeah, well, we know Drew is our man to shut someone down. So I think pretty clear that he'd be ready to go if someone gets going.
He loves it.
Yeah, he does, and he's played a lot of good footy that way.
Hasn't he?
He's the obvious one. That you also look at doing a team job on individual players as well as best as you can, given some of those players are just changing position all the time as well, which can make it difficult.
Lockie Jones is out. He's done a bit of your shutdown roles with those small defenders. I know you use Kane Farrell in that role. Toby Green lights up. What's the natural match-up for him down there?
Yeah, I mean, he's such an amazing player that wins so many contested battles. So it's a hard one. We've got a couple of options there as well with the smalls, and then Aaliyah and Zerk Thatcher for us can play smaller as well. So again, I think it's going to be a bit of a based on where he is on the ground, how we get him done. If he's deep, one of the taller guys. If he's up the ground, it'll be someone else. So he's a player that can be really damaging for him.
I heard Ken talk about the star-studded midfield of yours and to get some continuity of them playing together and getting their roles and game time and all of that. Are you working on, I know the answer, of course it is, the method with them? I've had a bit of a theory when times are tough, you got guys that can try and win it off their own boot, and that's not a criticism because they can. I mean, Jason Horne-Francis, Zach Butters, Connor Rosey off their own boot can turn a game. But it's more the collective, isn't it? Are you working on that method that it's the sum of all the parts of the midfield that will get it done?
You hit the nail on the head. It sure is. Like we know we've got absolute stars in there that are in great form, but we know it's a big team collective effort to be able to win big games. And there's been the best teams of the last few years have shown that as well. When it counts, it's a big collective effort. So sort of look at that midfield and go, it's more than the stars. It's the whole thing, how it all comes together, including the ruck. So definitely, that's the plan.
Sam Taylor, he's one of the best defenders in the game. Who do you reckon he'll go to now when there's no Charlie Dixon?
Yeah, I'm interested to see how that'll go. I mean, teams do go at Todd and try and get him done, given his goal kicking ability and he can really get on a run. And then George for us, Mitch Georgiadis, is coming off a great game as well. So I think it'd be one of those two, but we'll see pretty early on in the game. I think who it'll be.
They've lost 4 of their last 5, and they've had a good win against the Cats, but their form hasn't been electric, and it's sort of a bit unusual from what we saw in the back half of the year. So what have been the numbers that have sort of highlighted where they're not playing well?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're probably pretty cautious to not get too carried away with the results. Every team can have a little bit of a run against them. We know what they can do when they're up and about, and obviously having lost the final to them last year, it's more been about having to bring our absolute best. So we focus pretty heavily on ourselves and what we need to bring to combat their real running game and ability to run in waves and make it hard to defend.
Hey, Matty, just one last one. Will Lorenz obviously was close. He in the emergency list. Just for supporters' sake, just give us a bit of a description on young Will.
Yeah, so Will is a beautiful left footer. He started as a wingman and then he's played some more inside footy at SANFL level, and we'll look to continue to do that with him. Grow his contested game. He can win the ball really well for someone who's not hasn't filled out completely yet. But probably the thing that is the thing that his biggest strength would be his composure with the ball. He's a great decision maker by foot and by hand. You see that pretty clearly at SANFL level. And from my point of view, working with him in development, he's been able to learn and grow every game. So he's put himself in a position where we're pretty close to picking him. So I'm looking for him to just keep growing for the rest of the season, and anything could happen for him.
Does he get a game at Alberton tomorrow, or all 3 emergencies travel?
I think we're looking to play Will tomorrow, and then have the other couple travel.
Yep. Okay, cool. We'll get down there and have a look at him tomorrow, mate. Excellent. Well, good luck in both games.
Great. Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Matty Loby, assistant coach, and looks after the big fellas at Alberton. So, we get to look at Will Lorenz tomorrow at Alberton. You can see that on Channel 7.
Park Willie Rioli, because he's definitely in your best forward mix.
Yeah, for sure.
I love the look of that forward line this week, but I love the makeup of your team. You look, I don't know.
It's balanced?
Yes. I don't know whether that's the right word. This is a game of relevance for 2 clubs, GWS and Port away in Sydney. You both, promised the world and at this stage delivered Atlases. So, God, the team that wins this one will give them a lot of confidence. This is a massive game for your club.
Interesting to see the odds. GWS $1.60 basically to win, and Port $2.34 to win. So I thought Port were a bit longer than I thought they might be, but you know what?
Have a crack.
Gives me more confidence.
Have a little bo peep at that.
The only other thing I'll say is that the way this is written, they've got Bergman on a half-forward flank. I can't see that happening. No. So I think you'll find that he'll go to a wing, but it's a pretty balanced lineup and one that should perform.
All right, share your confidence with us, Port fans. 8223 0000 for that Rusden Blackgut Shiraz. Our best caller gets tonight. Let's check your traffic out there. Jack Hompsch to join us very shortly for top brand tailor-fitted men's suits and casual wear. See Ignition for Men. They're at 54 Paynham Road at Stepney.
Crash at Clearview to look out for this afternoon. Hampstead Road near East Parkway. Another collision at Kerry Gully. Freeway up track near Old Kerry Gully Road. Delays at Cactus. Super heavy back past Stirling. Avoid that if you can. Flooding over the road at Nailsworth. Main North Road near Jones Street with a camera at Blacktop Road at Gould Creek. Dream big and spend less this end of financial year at Footy Winks. Up to 50% off store-wide. Terms, conditions and exclusions apply. 40 Winks. Go to better sleep. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show. Rowey and Timmy G.
If you've been waiting for the perfect moment to get your four-wheel drive and camping accessories, this has got to be it. TJM Clovelly Park are relocating. There's too much stuff to move, so everything has been priced to clear. And believe me, they're dead serious. X-display ball bars, canopies, winches and loads more. It's all got to go. Some at over 50% off. Save thousands, but only while stocks last. Get in touch with TJM Clovelly Park and TJM Nailsworth.
G'day, it's Rory Sloane. Good leaders always look to support local. Like Leader Computers, Australia's largest Australian-owned PC manufacturer, based right here in South Australia. Having a world-class manufacturer of computers is a big win for our state, providing jobs and local support you simply can't get from overseas companies. For the latest Intel and Microsoft-based computers at great pricing with the huge benefit of local support, find your local dealer at leadersystems.com.au.
When your emergency can't wait, neither should you. At Calvary Adelaide's Emergency Department, you'll experience shorter wait times before receiving personalised care from experienced specialists. With Adelaide's only 24-hour private emergency department, Calvary provides emergency care at any time with no time spared. For fast, specialist private emergency care, get care 24/7 at the Calvary Adelaide Emergency Department, 120 Angus Street, Adelaide.
When you're a market-leading builder like Regent Homes, you never rest on your laurels. It's why Regent Homes is South Australia's only builder offering 3D virtual reality technology in their Envision Design Studio. At your first design meeting, you'll walk through your home in virtual reality. It's a wow moment, enriching your experience so you can make the right design choices from the start. Regent Homes. Innovative design, elevated living. Visit regenthomes.com.au.
Time is up. It's Friday and it's a frenzy. 10 lucky winners will win $50,000 each. Just for getting tickets by midnight tonight in the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery. Plus, your tickets stay in all 11,000 draws, including 2 Scott Salisbury homes at Henley Beach. You could be living the dream, mortgage-free. But hurry, the frenzy deadline is midnight tonight. Visit homelottery.com.au. Licence M14548.
It's Milton from Vidoulis Garden Centre. After 64 years, Vidoulis Garden Centre is closing its doors. With huge savings on all stock, now is the best time to come in and grab a bargain. Plants, pots, fertilisers and tools, gifts, homewares and outdoor furniture. It's all got to go. First in, best dressed. Vidoulis Garden Centre's closing down sale. On now while stocks last. Main North Road, Gawler, opposite the racecourse.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
13 minutes to 5. It's Footy Friday for Rusden Wines. Treaders will join us in studio live after 5 o'clock, and you can join us on the show, 8223 0000, for that Rusden Wines Black Gut Shiraz. And tonight, 5AA's Best of SA, we are celebrating at the Adelaide Oval with a big event. We're really looking forward to it. We've been profiling and celebrating some of the great brands in our state for the last couple of weeks, and today we're celebrating Maxima. If you're looking for a job, apprenticeship, traineeship or career change, Maxima can help you reframe what's possible.
Okay, Crows, well, they've got a massive task tomorrow versus Sydney. Everyone knows that. It's a game I've called they're just as likely to win. Would I say it'd be just the Crows to win this one, Timmy?
Like them.
Hanging my, what's this hat I've got on my head?
Yeah, it's a Terry Toweling hat.
Terry Toweling hat on it. Joining us, defensive coach Jack Homch. Homchy, welcome.
Hey, Rowey, Timmy, how you going?
Good, buddy.
Can we start with B. Smith? Dropped?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, it's look, obviously a bit of a tough week for Smithy, but you know he's pretty aware, and that his form hasn't quite been at the level we know he can play at, and that we really expect of him. And to his credit, yeah, he's working really hard. He's been a fantastic leader around the club all season long, to be honest. But you know, we felt it's really important to give someone, you know, Will Hamill's come in an opportunity a couple of weeks ago, and he's been playing some strong sample footy. And then this week, I guess the really exciting news is Nick Murray coming back into the team as well. So, you know, it is disappointing for Smithy, but we know at his best he's still a big part of our footy club. And, yeah, it's the way it felt this week.
Yeah, he's been a ripper, no question, over a lot of years. Nick Murray, he'll play back. You're not going to second ruck him, are you?
Yeah, look, I think the plan will be with Muzz, obviously, just get back in and find his feet at AFL level. It's, to be honest with you, I think fans, the people at the footy club are just pumped to have him back in the side. The way he was sort of progressing his game last season, he's really exciting for us. He drives high standards. He's really hungry. The way he's attacked his rehab, everyone, when they come back from a long-term injury, clearly deserves another go, and I think there's probably no one more so deserving than him, just the way he's attacked it. So yeah, he'll give us good flexibility alongside with Jimmy Borlace and Keeney and Butsy. We got some good flexible big guys there too.
Yeah, Taylor Walker's back. How bad?
To be honest, he nearly got up, and it's just not quite right. So hopefully, having the bye next week gives him a good time to sort of shut it down and get himself really healthy and going again. This bye's probably come at a great time for him. So, obviously he's a really important player for us, Tex, and having him in our forward half certainly helps us. But yeah, if he's not right, we'll give him the time to get it right and hopefully get him back as soon as we can.
I know you never go in his name, but it's a small front six. You got Fogg, and I'm calling him their little helpers, Rochelle, Murphy, Keys, Rankin and Cook. Who's your second tall? Will you do Borlace again?
Well, I think the beauty is, like, the way Boz presented last week and took some big clunks for us. He certainly gives us an option up there. And like I said, we've got some pretty big boys where I was talking with Muzz, Nick Murray, Keeney, Butsy and Borlace. Between the four of them, we feel like we've got good cover there.
Yeah.
So I think we'll be pretty flexible with how we look. But, yeah, certainly it's going to be a good night for those smaller guys to hopefully have an impact too.
You're playing Nick Murray forward, aren't you?
No, I don't think so. But we'll wait and see we roll out Saturday night. Oh, he certainly has capabilities himself. He's a very talented guy. But it's a big ask for. There's a fair element of him just wanting to come in and play footy too, and to expect too much from him in his first game back is a big pull. We just want him to. He's coming off a pretty serious injury. You want him to find his feet a little bit at the level too.
Hey, Jack. Last 2 weeks of selection, has it been tempting to play 2 ruckmen?
To be honest, all options are discussed, but we haven't really gone down that path. Obviously, clearly we haven't this week. It certainly is an option, but we feel like for team balance and the guys I'd mentioned before, we have good flexibility to move in game and adjust in game if we need to. So it's not something we've given a lot of thought to be honest, but it's certainly been a little bit of discussion.
They always talk about the health of the list, and Sydney are number 1. They've only used 27 players. You guys sit 12th with having used 35 players. Do you think as the weeks go on that you'll still make, barring injury of course, but you'll still make some guys get in the team and try them out, like maybe at the odd debutant?
Look, we will take it week by week. I think, we've got some pretty key players coming back this week. Obviously, Isaac is another important one for us. But certainly if guys are performing at SANFL level and they've worked really hard and they've earned the right to put their name up, absolutely we'll have a look at opportunities for players. But, selection at the moment, we're going in picking the best team that we feel can win on the weekend, and that's still a really important part of our strategy at the moment.
No worries. And no risk policy, both Rankin and Laird?
No risk as in...
As in there's no chance of those two repeating anything?
No, I think touch wood. But, I think we're all good to go with those boys.
What happened to Lairdy? We heard he walked off with a sore knee.
I think it was just one of those innocuous moments in training. We had, obviously, the main session, so it's your contest hit for the week.
Yep.
So we had a pretty good session on Wednesday night, to be honest. So it was pretty combative, and the guys were cracking in, and he just copped a bit of a knock and bit ginger for a little bit there. But, Lairdy should be good to go.
And what's the key to beating Sydney, do you think?
They're clearly, you guys have probably said on the show tonight, they're a really strong team in both offence and defence. I think they're, number 1 offensive team in the comp and top 1 or 2 in their defensive KPIs. But we've got to make sure we don't give them a chance to use the footy they want the way they want to. They've got a lot of users off half back. Blakey the way he runs and creates for them as well. So got to bring a good amount of pressure and, as best as possible, play the game in our front half, and that generally will get you in most games of footy, and it's very relevant against Sydney this week.
Well, Hobbsy, thanks for your time, mate. As I've said all week, it'll be so the Crows to win this week. I've got a good feeling. I don't know why. I've got blind faith. You know that, Hobbsy, but good luck. Here's for 4 quarters of our best. How about that? Our best DNA we've worked on. Here's for 4 quarters of that. Jack, thanks for your time.
Yep, absolutely. Thanks, boys. Have a good night.
See you, Jack.
And I know that sounds patronising, but I'd be happy with that tomorrow. Win, lose or draw, 4 quarters of the way we play. We know how the Crows play.
You didn't see that last week.
Nah.
Let's see it again.
They're going to have their moment in the sun, Sydney.
Oh, they're going to have to work real hard.
They're 11-1 for a reason.
Let's ask Brian. G'day, Brian.
Brian.
How you going, Roy?
Yeah, good man.
Yeah, I've tipped the Crows to win tomorrow.
Ooh.
I mean, when they play on Sunday, is it?
Saturday night. Live on AA.
Saturday night, that's right. And the AFL has given no favours to the Crows. They got the 16th hardest draw for the season. Where's their favours from last year's mistake?
We got 5 hairy chess games, Brian. Thursday night, Friday night. We got all those Thursday, Friday night games.
Yeah, that's right. But you got the 16th hardest draw.
But when you play those big time slots, you got to play big numbers teams, don't you?
But the 16th hardest draw means it's easy. The hardest draw would be 1. 16th is good, Brian.
No, the hardest draw.
No.
Go
If
the
it's
other
the
way round.
16th hardest draw, it's the 16th hardest draw. So there's 15 clubs that have a harder draw, Brian.
Yeah, they should have been down the bottom.
I think he's confused himself here, Brian.
So if I get more...
Can we give him a $50 Powers voucher?
Yeah.
Because you can go and see Sam and Jamie, get himself a nice drop.
And enjoy the game tomorrow night.
And discuss it with Sam, and he'll sort him out.
Because I was just wondering, if I get more shots in golf, does that mean I'm a good player? If
No.
I can... No, it doesn't, does it?
In Brian's counting, maybe you are. In 3 minutes to 5.
I won last week.
But that, how I read it, that's right, isn't it?
No, you're spot on.
That's
I thought
right.
the same thing.
So there's 15 teams that have got a harder draw than Adelaide.
Yeah, if you had the
I
second,
saw that stat.
Yeah, if you had the second hardest draw rather than the 16th hardest draw, you probably think you got a harder draw.
Yeah, that means the hairy chess games were not worth a burnt Village pie.
And depending on where you finish on the ladder too, the year before, you get lined up more
That's
against
exactly
the teams
right.
around you. That's just how it works. It's time for the news. Warren Treadray will join us in studio next for Footy Friday.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Guessing your pick from a deck of cards is tricky. Awkward social situations, also tricky. Finding the perfect Volkswagen, easy at Mawson Lakes Volkswagen's end of financial year sale. You can get first pick on a massive range of new and demo Volkswagens available for delivery right now. Loads of colours, loads of options, on-site finance and next day servicing. Easy, just get in before June 30. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, just a short drive from the city.
Hi, Bronte Manuel from Toop and Toop Real Estate. The past quarter has set the stage for a fierce property market over the year. Low supply of new stock to market, interstate migration, and low home dwelling approvals has created a cocktail that we believe can only translate into property price growth over the next 6 to 12 months. If you're looking to take advantage in achieving the ultimate price, Toop and Toop Real Estate hold the highest amount of suburb records in South Australia. Go to toop.com.au to find out more.
Over 50 and ready to dive into something amazing? This is for you. We're planning for your future with 2 new over 50s lifestyle resorts in Goolwa and Encounter Bay. With our vision for world-class facilities and endless activities, your next phase of life could deliver your best years yet with pools, gymnasiums, bowling greens and more. Visit our new display centre at 1 Banfield Road, Goolwa North, or check out lakesideresort.com.au or oceanviewresort.com.au.
It's bewildering to think that in a universe as vast as ours, we can find an LD 10 kilo capacity top-load washing machine with LED display and 8 wash programs for only $449, but still can't find our missing sock. Where's my sock? It's special you can buy at the Aldi Home Electrical Sale this Saturday. Aldi, good different.
I now pronounce us starving. Let's go.
Caught the bouquet but missed the meal? Share the love and shout the whole table KFC's 20 for 20. 10 mouth-watering original tenders and 10 nuggets for just $20. It's a great shout.
Not everywhere and not forever. Pick up only.
Dreaming of a getaway? Now's the perfect time. With the G'day Parks app, not only do you get access to more parks in more places, but if you book on the app before the 31st of August for travel anytime this year, you'll be entered into the draw to win free fuel for a year. A whole year of free fuel. Book to win and get away on us. G'day Parks, the easy way to get away. Here's good. G'dayParks.com.au. T's and C's apply. Permit number OCT TP 24/00628.
$2 usually sounds like, but with the People First Community Lottery, $2 could sound more like. Get your $2 tickets today for a chance to win a Toyota Kluger Hybrid at communitylottery.com.au. T's and C's apply. SA Lottery Licence Number M14521.
Local news and information first. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
A shower or two with a possible storm tonight, a shower or two tomorrow, clearing later 15. With the 5 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher. The state government has now lifted the majority of restrictions on elective surgery. 90% of procedures can now be undertaken in SA. Only non-urgent Category 2 and 3 surgeries remain on hold. But CEO of SA Health, Dr Robin Lawrence, isn't ruling out further bans in the future.
Code yellows are there for the circumstance when we need them, and they can be driven by a whole lot of things. I can't categorically tell you that we won't call another code yellow in due course, for whatever reason that might be.
COVID numbers in SA have fallen in the past week. There have been 1,666 new cases, down 763 on last week, while 28 new COVID-related deaths have been recorded in the past month. 5 people have been arrested at O'Sullivan Beach as part of an ongoing drug investigation. The search of a local home today allegedly uncovered a trafficable amount of MDMA, a small quantity of cash, cocaine and prescription medications. An 18-year-old Port Noarlunga man, 19-year-old Old Noarlunga man, 20-year-old O'Sullivan Beach man, 20-year-old Morfett Vale man and 28-year-old Mount Compass woman have been bailed to front court in August. Police are appealing to the public as they search for the person responsible for vandalising the Australian War Memorial in Canberra. 3 areas of the monument have been spray-painted with pro-Palestinian slogans. Researchers believe criminal justice reform is needed to better protect the community. An Institute of Public Affairs study shows Australia is spending $2.4 billion annually on imprisoning non-violent offenders. Research fellow Mia Schlicht believes resources could be redirected.
If we removed these offenders from prison, we could create more room to lock away violent and dangerous offenders for longer periods of time. We could also reinvest the money saved into crime prevention strategies, such as putting more police on the beat to stop criminals before they act, and therefore improving community safety.
Jurors in the trial of accused killer Greg Lynn have retired to deliberate verdicts on 2 murder charges. More from Kiara Parker.
The fate of airline pilot Greg Lynn is now in the hands of 12 jurors. The 6 men and 6 women on the jury have gone home for the day and will return on Monday for deliberations after sitting through 5 weeks of evidence and legal arguments during the Supreme Court trial. Alternative charges of manslaughter have been thrown out. The instruction means Lynn can only be convicted or acquitted of murdering missing campers Russell Hill and Carol Clay. Lynn has pleaded not guilty to 2 charges of murder, but admits to burning their remains. The 57-year-old claims Mrs Clay and Mr Hill were accidentally killed in separate campsite struggles involving a shotgun and a knife in the Wanangata Valley in 2020. The prosecution has told the jury Lynn made up the story and obliterated all evidence. Lynn's defence team argues prosecutors have failed to establish the cases for murder.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Charge at home and you're free to roam. Visit bcevchargers.com.au.
Port is feeling confident as they return from the bye and head into state. They play GWS at Blacktown on Sunday. The club has made 4 changes to its final team, headlined by the return of captain Connor Rowey. Ollie Lord will make his long-awaited comeback following a leg injury. Quinton Narkle is in there and Dylan Williams. Lockie Jones has been omitted. Coach Ken Hinkley says the mid-season break has been beneficial.
We've got great clarity about where we are and what we're doing and where we need to improve, and we think there's not every area of our game that needs to improve, but there's some areas of our game that we certainly would like to get stronger and better. And what the break has done and the decent length of break that we've had has given us a bit of opportunity to dig deep.
The Crows will be under pressure again tomorrow to get the job done against Sydney at home. Round 14 gets underway at Brisbane tonight with the Lions and St Kilda. And Patrick Cantlay and Rory McIlroy have set the pace in the opening round of the US Open. They're top of the leaderboard at 5 under. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Copper is critical to the energy transition, and the responsible production of SA copper is happening now at BHP.
Crash at Kerry Gully to look out for. Freeway up track near Old Kerry Gully Road. Got flooding over the road at Nailsworth, Main North Road near Jones Street. Burst water main at Semaphore South, Military Road near Eaton Road. And got works at Martin slowing things up today. Payne Road near Broad Street, speeds at 40. Keep an eye for cameras this afternoon. Milne Road, Modbury Heights and Moseley Street at Glenelg South. The BMW Expo sale event at Glenelg BMW is on now. Enjoy a $5,000 trade-in bonus and BMW service inclusive across new in-stock models. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
A shower or 2 with a possible storm tonight down to 9. A shower or 2 tomorrow, clearing later 15. Sunday mostly sunny 17 and Monday 16. Right now it's 15 degrees. Now let's check what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Brenton Raglis. Tonight, the latest on our hospitals crisis as sicknesses surge across the state. Adelaide's rising property values, even interest rates can't stop it. Now we're one of the least affordable cities in the world. Internet prices about to rise, the simple step to big savings. And why the cost of our orange juice could double. 9 News, your news, nightly at 6 on 9 and on 9 Now.
The news and issues that matter to South Australia. Always Adelaide. This is 5AA.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
It is 6 minutes after 5 on this Footy Friday, all thanks to Rusden Wines. Our best caller tonight gets a bottle of Rusden Blackgut Shiraz, so get involved. We still have to come on the program. Brian Cunningham on the program. We have Terry McAuliffe, usually on a Friday night. He's out. Coming in to help out is Johnny Kelton with our racing tips tonight. And your calls 8223 0000 is the number. Tune into the Foodland live stream on Facebook and YouTube, because right now it's time to welcome in Treaders.
Treadray! 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 Warren Treadray, thanks to Ignition for Men. For top brand tailored fitted men's suits and casual wear, see Ignition for Men, 54 Paynham Road, Stepney.
Okay, boys, get ready for Monday, where we get to get on social media with our new Ignition for Men jackets. And
I'm wrapped with mine.
Oh, it's going to be very, very special, let me tell
Treaders
you.
is dressed by Ignition for Men today.
Yeah, I don't think they'd claim this jacket. Velvet green.
Velvet green?
Well, they could do
What
anything.
were
mate.
you thinking?
70s, mate.
Did you pay for it?
You would have done your
velvet.
you would have done your best work in the 70s, wouldn't you?
Oh,
This was his tribute
yeah,
to you two.
yeah.
Timmy down the Port Club.
I shot everything that moved when I was in the 70s.
He was watching Gilligan's Island, obviously.
Yeah, back in the 70s. He's sort of gone the Terry Towlington on.
That's very
What's happening
70s.
there?
Very
Found this on Pembo's desk.
Didn't
and I
do your
claimed it.
hair.
Yeah, you won't find that
Got
at
hat
Ignition
hair,
for
have
Men,
you?
let me tell you. You won't
No.
find that out.
They might burn it.
Hang on, how was the board meeting today? Went for about 8 hours.
Good.
Good. Anything of note that came out of it that you could share with your listeners?
No, you do this to me every time.
Well, why wouldn't I?
Because you.
I'm intrigued.
They're
I'd love to know
confidential
how
meetings.
Are you going back? Are you going back to Shanghai? Yes or no?
I'm going back. Holiday next week.
There you go.
See, come on.
No, the AFL said they've got no interest. Welcome, Treaders. And before we get into
Straighten up, Tim. I like it.
nitty gritty,
Yes.
I did get a unique homestyle food text. One that says, "What is Port's record after a bye. Now, you looked that up, Sam, didn't you? It's 5 wins, 6 losses after a bye in recent times.
Yes.
Yep. Okay, so there you go, Tex. That's that one answered.
And some extra hope for you. Teams on the back of a bye this season are 8 wins, 4 losses. Just a little bit of extra hope.
That's a better number.
Refreshing.
Yeah, 8 and 4.
On the back
Good
of a
numbers.
bye.
The other one is Michael, obviously not happy with me. Tim, no one plays 2 out-and-out ruckmen. Stop with the stupid question. The game's all about speed.
Fremantle.
So Fremantle,
arguably the second form team in the comp.
Yeah, they're
if you
doing
look
it
at some
at
of
the
the
moment.
numbers.
I think the Bombers have
Jackson
done it all year.
and what's
Goldstein?
his name? No, Freo.
Sean Darcy.
But Jackson is a forward.
But Goldstein and Draper.
Yeah, but even
Bombers.
Goldstein's slowing up a little. But that's all because probably
40.
the best thing they did.
He's
yeah,
40.
He's 65. His 2 metre Peter's now back. So I think I've always worked on the theory. It's just my old silly theory that you play 3 tall forwards, 1 has to ruck.
Yes.
Or you play 2 rucks, you can only play 2 forwards.
And I asked because I know there was the temptation from Scott Camporeale, who said he wouldn't mind.
He would have done it last.
He would have done it against the
in hindsight,
Richmond.
would have been a good call.
But I don't think it's a good call. So I don't think it's a long-term option unless your guy has to be a forward. One's got to be like Jackson's.
One's got to be able to mark the ball forward and kick a goal.
Because Darcy can
Melbourne
do it.
won a flag with 2 legit ruckmen.
Yeah, but he was mostly a forward.
Yeah.
Remember Jackson? He was the pinch hit, Maxi Gorn
but
relief.
He was good in both.
But they were brilliant. That's the bit. We see a lot of ruckmen nowadays, and Port's got one in Soldo who can go forward and he's proven to kick goals. But I look back and a long time ago, 20 years ago, as Port launched the jerseys for the Brisbane game coming up.
That's good.
I love that. Lady could go forward. Brogues generally went to the bench. Did a little bit forward. But Lady could play as good as a forward, his craft, as it was for ruck. So that's where you need to have that mix.
So that's the combo. I hope that clears it up for you, Michael, and apologies if...
so you're getting him to apologise to you because you were right, yeah?
No, just saying that's where it came from.
Okay.
If I was building a list,
But
I'd try
it'll
to
never
build a
be
list,
asked again, Michael.
around 2 legit ruckmen. 100%.
Well, you're going to get another email from Michael then.
I wouldn't. I'd build it around ruckman forwards who can play both just as well.
There you go.
Because otherwise you can't rest forward. You've got a bloke running off you and you're useless. You're no aerial threat.
Yeah. Well, Melbourne
is that what you meant?
No, Melbourne clearly wrote it. Who's the bloke that sent that dopey text? What was his name?
No, his name's Michael. It's not dopey.
So Mick, Melbourne recruited Grundy to play alongside Gorn. Now
to replace Jackson.
Correct.
And
so that's how much they rate it.
Yeah, but the thing is, they had brought 2 blokes in, and it was always going to be questionable because they're 90-minute ruckmen.
Yeah.
Jackson could be the opposite. He could be the 30-minute ruckman and 70-minute forward. You know what I mean? So that's the bit. If you've got a guy whose one wood is to play big minutes in the ruck, it ain't going to work. And why is it flourishing for Grundy? Because he's now
doing all the time.
Doing his majority, and if he needs to rest, it's either forward for a little bit or off the ground. He's playing to his strength.
Now, there's an article in the paper today which I had a look at, and it was about good things coming through. It's about 3 really top-end midfielders being able to carry you right to the pointy end of the season, whether it be prelim or winning the flag. So they went back in time and talked about Geelong in their sort of 29, 10, 11 era, and they wrote the names Ablett, Selwood, Kelly. Then they looked at Collingwood and said Swan, Didac, Pendlebury.
Yep.
They're comparing them to today's
Sydney
outfits, which is the best one at the moment, Heaney, Warner, Goulden.
Yep.
I say that that's all very well, but I think just picking out 3 names is almost a bit insulting to the rest of the midfield, but also as we've just spoken about, your ruckman.
I like when you give me a task, Timmy.
Yeah.
So when you sent this through this afternoon, have a look at this. What do you think? And I knew what you were thinking. Because you need to bat deeper than 3.
Oh,
because here's these numbers. We'll isolate, right? So I've gone, geez, I played against these guys. No, Geelong were better than Ablett, Selwood, Kelly. Kelly didn't get to start in the centre square. You know why?
That's right.
Because they had a bloke called Ling who was arguably the best tagger. Then a guy called Bartel who was pretty handy, only won 3 flags and a Brownlow. Then you had Joel Corey who won 2 best and fairest and 3 premierships and is unheralded and All-Australian multiple times. And a bloke called Paul Chapman who played a little bit of midfield but played forward because he was just as good, right? Then you go to Collingwood 2010 when they won the drawn grand final, beats the Saints the week later. Swan, Didac, Pendlebury. Yeah, great. But they forget Daisy Thomas was arguably the best 2-way running mid before he had his foot issues, right? Guy called Luke Ball they got from St Kilda for pick 16.
Inside mid.
Beams.
Went all right.
Beams, very good player.
Side bottom, still going. 2 flags. Then you look at Sydney.
He's having his 80th next week.
He looks 80.
He's amazing.
But it is. But I talked about method at the start of the show with the midfield. That's where Port needs to move into. It's the sum of all those parts.
It is. And if you look at Sydney 2012, it's Kennedy, Jack, Jetta, right? But then you forget O'Keefe, who won the Norm Smith, Adam Goods, who is probably a ruck forward option, McVeigh, Hanbury, Jew, Bolton, right? Crows, Rankin, Dawson, Crouch right now. The challenge for Adelaide now is who's that next bit? Yeah. Who's the other complementers? Everyone talks about Port, right? Oh, yeah, 3 generational players. Don't get me wrong. We're not disappointed we got them. Phenomenal players. Butters, Rosie, Horn-Francis. But just to give those 3, you got to show Ollie Wines the respect he's had. Yep, injured last year. Brownlow medalist. Willem Drew plays a vital role. I look back to 20 years ago in my era. You go, oh, yeah, best mids. We had Josh Carr. We had Dimmer in there for a role. We had
Peter Burgoyne.
Sean Burgoyne played back pocket. And then a bit of Josh Carr, Schofield and extra.
Josh Franco, who was injured.
Roger James. Why?
Groggy.
You got to bat deep. And then you go to the recent, and we talk about Dusty, how good he is. But everyone forgets and goes, yes, Dusty won. I think he might have won 2 best and fairest.
Yes, he
did.
He
won a Brownlow. He's won 3 normies, right?
Yeah. Yep.
But you go, he didn't do it by himself, even though everyone thinks he does. Because listen to this. Between the 17, 18, 19, 20, 3 flags in that area, right? 1 prelim. They had a list of Martin, Prestia, Cochin, Lambert, Bolton, Edwards, Ellis, Jack Graham, Grigg, Rioli and Short.
Not bad.
Good luck.
Well, that's why they won
3 out of 4.
Look, and you look at the premiership. Look at the premiership teams around that time. They all run deep. Last year's premiers are exactly the same. They ran about 8 deep.
And who's knocking it down to them? That's the other thing. Nan Curvis has been. He was magnificent coming from Sydney.
Right? Geelong. We went through it before.
Yes.
Brad Ottens, 3 flags. Collingwood, Darren Jolly to start with. Sydney, I reckon back in 12 was Darren Jolly, but Big Mike Pike, the Canadian. Remember him?
Yes.
Sydney this year, a bloke called Grundy goes okay. Crows, still working on what the best option is, right? Port, probably better than where we were in that area last year because injuries and bits and pieces.
Soldo's been to the big dance.
He's absolutely.
You got a good one there.
No, absolutely. But then Richmond, Nankervis, he was steak knives from.
I know.
Without being disrespectful,
he couldn't get a game at Sydney.
Yeah, he was caught behind. Who was the other Sydney ruckman? Ended up doing a knee at the time.
Not Ball?
No. After that. I'll get it.
Did he have a big mop of hair? Left footer?
Yeah, that was the guy they brought in.
We'll get it.
But yeah, no, Nankervis left for opportunity, and Richmond go, we'll take you, and he's still going great.
So what's the common theme for all of that?
You got to bat deep. You can't rely on 3 or 4 players to get the job done.
And midfields win flags, and hence why I'm so critical of the Crows over the last 10 years.
Tom Hickey was the guy you were looking for.
That's him.
No, another name before that.
Yeah.
Oh, before that.
Tom Hickey was the guy with the hair.
Yes. Keep looking.
Yeah.
The one with the hair.
We'll go to a break, but when we come back, Josh Rochelle was on our Brecky team, and he spoke about the expectation of winning. I'll just get your perspective on that afterwards.
All right, it's 16 minutes after 5. Let's check your traffic. Of course, for
Naismith.
Ignition for Men.
That's
Sam
him.
Naismith, very good. For top brand, tailored, fitted men's suits and casual wear, Ignition for Men, 54 Paynham Road, Stepney.
Got some flooding over the road from that passing weather earlier today at Nailsworth, Main North Road near Jones Street. Bruce Watermain slowing things up at Semaphore South, Military Road near Eaton Road. Slow for works at Lonsdale, Dyson Road near O'Sullivan's Beach Road with a camera Crittenden Road at Findon. Ready to upgrade to TV and streaming experience? Meet Hubble. Go from jumping between apps to now you don't have to. Get Hubble, $99 with no ongoing device fees. Applies to small device. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. It's time to illuminate South Australia's best businesses. Unique brands, all showcased in 5AA's Best of SA.
Maxima is an SA success story with over 39 years experience across Australia. Maxima can help you land your first job, start an apprenticeship or traineeship, make a career change, or if you're a business owner, they can recruit for you. Let Maxima help you reframe what's possible.
The Best of SA, thanks to major sponsor Maxima and Adelaide's 5AA.
Here's 2 reasons to rush into Formula Honda. 1. Enjoy reduced drive-away prices on select grades for the Honda ZR-V and CRV only while stocks last. 2. Get a bonus 8 years warranty and 8 years roadside assist on select grades until the end of this financial year. Hurry into Formula Honda while stocks and savings last. Find us at Glen Osmond Road, Glen Osmond or North East Road, Modbury. T's and C's apply.
Time is up. It's Friday and it's a frenzy. 10 lucky winners will win $50,000 each. Just for getting tickets by midnight tonight in the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery. Plus, your tickets stay in all 11,000 draws, including 2 Scott Salisbury homes at Henley Beach. You could be living the dream, mortgage-free. But hurry, the frenzy deadline is midnight tonight. Visit homelottery.com.au. Licence M14548.
Now, we talk about Rusden's as being one of our favourites. It's way beyond that. I went there my good self on the weekend. And
again?
Yeah, again.
Is that 2 weeks in a row?
No. It's only the 1 week in a row. But sent some people down there on Thursday as well. So some UK visitors coming over, a lad that's moved here permanently, took them all out there. And you reckon they didn't get looked after. Yeah. Absolutely loved it. And that's what I'm recommending to everybody. They'll treat you the same. It doesn't matter because you've got a terry toweling hat on. They're not going to treat you any differently.
No.
Use the Geneva Gold card.
Yes, exactly.
That opens other doors.
Correct.
No, but they're a genuine Barossa, old-fashioned boutique winery where you get the service, the quality and all that. What did I do today at about 3 o'clock, Timmy?
You ordered some of the old Willie because it's back in stock.
That's exactly right. So you've got to get on their mailing list because you get some bloody good deals. I bought 6 bottles of the Uncle Willie's port.
Yeah.
Now, there's only 500 of these, fortified. Is it elite?
It's elite.
Elite.
So you only got 6.
Elite.
Yeah. Why not get more?
No, he's drinking
winter,
responsibly.
They're $80
he's drinking
a bottle,
responsibly.
And I'm telling you, you would not have a better port.
Yeah.
Start with the black guts, move into a sand scrub, just finish off with the port. Your head hits the pillow like a bloody bit of Besser brick
your
block.
poor wife's here and you're snoring all night long.
And you've got the
and
red
get in the spare room.
And it's called Canuted. It's called Christian Canuted. Right up the Canute.
Exactly. So do yourself a favour. Take a visit to the cellar door in the
Love
Barossa.
him.
Make your next red a Rusden's. Check them out. rusdenwines.com.au.
Our bowel screening test is simple, private and free. Your test will be posted to you every 2 years once you turn 50, so make sure to keep an eye out for it. If found early, 90% of bowel cancers can be treated successfully. Doing a screening test every 2 years can help you stay strong and healthy for yourself and your family. For more information, have a yarn with your health professional or visit www.indigenousbowelscreen.com.au.
At Coles, there's great value hands down across fruit and veg this week. Like delicious Coles Australian carrots, 1 kilo bag, just $1.50 a bag. Get great value hands down at Coles. Offer ends Tuesday.
G'day, it's Rory Sloan. Schools, councils and businesses all over South Australia choose Leader Computers for very important reasons. Leader is local and offers exceptional value. No matter what happens, Leader can be on site to fix your problem. No overseas or interstate call centres to deal with. Plus, Leader Computers is a 100% owned and operated South Australian company, offering fast same-day delivery and setup. Grow your business and get behind a Leader. Find your local dealer at leadersystems.com.au.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
21 minutes after 5 on our Footy Friday for Rusden Wines. Treaders is here in studio. You can give him a call, 8223 0000. Have a chat, ask a question. Our best caller tonight wins a Rusden Wines Blackgut Shiraz.
We got a nomination, actually. You remember the community service announcement?
Oh, yeah.
Got it from John. He said, I think I should get a Rusden's for that.
He's self-nominated.
I think he's on the podium.
He's on the podium.
Timmy's on the podium.
We need to reward.
He's been to Rusden's 1 week in a row.
Timmy's on the podium.
I was like, can you do that?
I do like that. Hey, mate, this morning, Josh Rochelle, he joins our Brecky team, Dave and Will, and always has a few things to say. There was an interesting one. He brought up about the expectation of winning.
When we're playing the Collingwoods and the Sydneys this weekend, as I said, the build-up this week has been like we're about to play a massive final game. And I think because we know we have to be at that level, and I think when we're playing these games, when we're expected to win, we kind of go with that bit of, I guess, lack of grunt and kind of thinking that we're just going to get it done.
So that intensity that he's talking about, that they can, and this is exactly where Rowey's coming from, their last 4 games against Sydney have been lost by average margin of 2 points. So they're definitely lifting against the better teams. It's when they do play Richmond, who've won 1-11, that the intensity's not there.
Yeah, well, this is, for me, I love his honesty, and I've really liked, and do I tune in the Brecky Show all day, every day? No, I love the clips that they put up, the social media stuff, just to see what people are talking about. I think the breadth of honesty he's brought to the Crows, right, and to this to the breakfast program is off the back. I've struggled. I was poor last week. I've got to get better. The other weeks we heard about him.
Yes.
I love his honesty, but it also shows that comment a little bit of maturity. And for Crows fans, I'm not clipping the kid, but when you're at that age, you think like that, and sometimes you are too honest. So the old school footy club in me goes, well, you don't want people showing that. But I think that's refreshing, because he's admitted that maybe the mental experience or the mental ability to stay on edge is the probably little bit that's lacking. And that could be looked at Port Adelaide too, because for a period of time, Port Adelaide as a club has struggled against big expectations. And until you answer that, people are going to continue to question it. But the positive for me in this situation is he's not dismissing it, going, it's not a problem. He knows it's a problem for the team, and the team needs to learn with that. And I think the biggest bit you can do as a player, somehow get that sickly, nervous feeling. It's uncomfortable, but I've always felt if I had that as a player, I'd play well, because it keeps you on edge. And that's the bit that I think is really refreshing.
How do you get that? I never had it.
Didn't you?
You feel sick in your guts.
Yeah, just that little bit of...
I was nervous.
Nervous
And
sickness.
nervous about the unknown and how important it is.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I'm not
but
saying...
not feel sick.
No, I'm not... But nervous sickness feeling, not vomiting. I'm just saying that...
That's close.
Staying on edge.
Yeah. Andrew McLeod shunted before every game.
Tony Lockett did. I did most games.
Yeah. I think Tony McGuinness was a bit of a spewer too.
Yeah, I never did that. I just got very, very nervous about the desire to win was so great. And I'll never forget rocking up to the 94 grand final and parking and then getting out the car and seeing Neville Roberts. And Neville was commentating for the ABC on the TV, and he came down. He said, "Oh, Timmy, how you going?" All right. I said, "I'll be honest." I said, "I'm feeling crook." I tell him that nervous. And he goes, "What'd you be nervous for?" He said, "You blokes got nothing to lose." I said, "You go back to Alberton tonight and tell them that." And that's exactly the story. That's what that used to drive me.
But I didn't
want to go back to Albion.
But take that further. That's the fear of failure.
Of course it is. And that's why.
And that's
the
what
desire
makes you
to
better.
Win, it makes you stronger.
Exactly.
To make sure.
Did you play in that one, Treaders?
No, I watched it.
Oh, you were 97.
I played 96.
No, 96, sorry. Yeah.
No, I watched. I was a really bad childhood. I watched 88, 89, 90, 92, 94, 95.
How awful.
And played in 96.
Not listening, not
the long
listening,
weekend
not
was,
listening.
boys, all my Eagles mates would go, because I was in the Eagle zone. Went to St. Michael, said, "What are you doing this long weekend?" "I'm going to go away." "I'm just going to watch another grand final." And that one we probably shouldn't have won, but won.
Here it is. Now, David King's had some comments about Port Adelaide during the week on AFL 360. Have a listen to these.
It's games like this weekend against top 8 teams, and we see his record there, that separate your top 4 prospects, your top 8 prospects, or are you an also-ran? So if you're going to make the move through the grades, you get to a point that it's put up or shut up. And when you've been there 10, 11 years, 12 years, it's not about the list, because this is your list. You've built it, you've cultivated, your method's embedded. It's about does it stack up or not. So against the best teams is really all we're qualifying now with Port. I'm not really judging their numbers against the rest, because they've always brained the rest and won 2 finals in 10 years. So it's not about the rest anymore.
Now, I did have the qualified 2 finals in 10 years. He's taking it from 2015 to today, because we won 2 in 2014. But look, a lot of the comments you can't shy away from, and I think we all accept that.
The fans think this. A lot of people think this.
We had a caller last night.
From inside the club, we're aware of this.
Yeah.
And the reality is, what David King is right is saying, we haven't stood up deep into finals when others have won, and you can go back and miss some opportunities. But the draw is not easy. Whilst you sit 8 and 4, it is so close, as you're going to point out very soon, Timmy. But the Giants are back in form. They bring in 2 classy players, Buckley and Kelly, into their team on their home deck, right? Followed by Brisbane, who are back in form.
They are back.
Yeah. Followed by the Saints on their deck, right? Western Bulldogs at home. Suns on their home deck. They're 6 and zip. Right, they can't win away from home, but there's then you've got the Tigers, then you've got Carlton. This is Port's run. Sydney at home, Carlton away, Melbourne MCG, right? Adelaide showdown. We've lost the last 3, and then you got FIVEAA away.
Okay.
So the challenge is there for the players and the club to stand up.
Yep.
And don't shy away from it. Embrace the challenge.
Big month ahead. Hey, just before you go, one of our staff members said they were on the air at the airport yesterday, and getting off the plane was Damien Hardwick and his wife.
Ooh.
So are they here for a premiership reunion or?
Would be.
Well, they got to buy.
Oh, no, it wouldn't be. That's next week we're doing that with Brisbane, aren't we?
Yeah, but I wouldn't have thought Demir would be that.
No.
Because I think that one will be around whoever's in town for it.
So he's here on holidays because they've got to buy.
Well, these probably...
Sons.
Who knows? They might be having up the Rusdens.
Well, could be.
1 week in a row.
He's not.
One week in a row. He's just going to do it.
He listens to the live reads.
Yeah.
Don't you worry about that. He said.
I don't know. Do you want me to text Dimmer and say, mate, you've spotted? What are you doing in Adelaide?
Well, I'm just saying, you're his premiership teammate. He's in town.
Mate,
That's
I'm the
a bit
opposition.
of a story.
I'm the opposition. I'm a board member at his old club, who he's trying to beat in a few weeks' time.
Okay.
Right. And he's on holidays. And does he want to? And I work in the media. I've got more black crosses against my name than anyone. But he might answer me back.
Damien Hardwick watch. He's in Adelaide, and we'll get hold of Christian, and he'll be up there getting a red.
But what does that mean? He's in Adelaide. He's allowed to have a life, isn't he?
Well,
he's not going to come and coach the Crows or Port.
No, I don't trust him anymore.
We've got
no.
He's
got cankles.
I know what he's got.
Cars going
that'll get back.
No, he knows that. We've called him cankles his whole life.
Hang on. There's a text come in from Ben. Thank you, Ben. It says Hardwick was at the Woodville West Torrens Stanfield business lunch.
Oh, snout in the trough, Hardwick.
Thanks,
So
Gary.
he's doing a cashy.
Timmy, look at Timmy Spiker. He's like, someone hasn't booked me.
And I missed that.
Timmy.
Timmy.
94,
sorry,
mate. 94, they haven't forgiven you.
That's probably it, I reckon. Hey, thanks for coming in, mate. It's all about our good friends at Ignition for Men. It's comfort and style you're after, and it's important to you. Well, get on to Ignition for Men, Adelaide's home of Armani, Canali, Xenia, 54 Paynham Road, Stepney. Get in there. I am Monday.
It's time for the 5:30 headlines.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowey and Timmy G.
This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Good evening, Mel Usher with the latest news headlines. The state government has lifted the majority of restrictions on elective surgery. 90% of procedures can now be undertaken in SA. 4 men and a woman have been charged following a drug bust at O'Sullivan Beach. Bird flu has spread to another farm in Victoria. And in sport, Patrick Cantlay and Rory McIlroy have set the pace in the opening round of the US Open. They're top of the leaderboard at 5 under. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Copper is critical to the energy transition, and the responsible production of SA copper is happening now at BHP.
At Woodville Park, at a Carvey motorbike, Torrens Road near David Terrace. Crash at Verdun, the freeway up track near the Hahndorf overpass causing delays. Flooding over the road at Nailsworth, Main North Road near Jones Street. And a burst watermain at Semaphore South, Military Road near Eaton Road. Spend and save on snow gear at Anaconda. Save $20, $50 or $100 when you spend in store. 3 days only, must end Sunday. Terms and conditions apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast, a shower or two with a possible storm tonight, a shower or two tomorrow, clearing later 15. Right now it's 15 degrees. We'll have more news at 6 and as it happens on 5AA.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
Australia's population, a tick under 27 million now, a natural increase in Australia. This is the story that no one's talking about, of 103,000 people, 6.4% less than 2022. The birth rate in Australia is going through the floor, and it's related to the housing story. People don't want to start a family before they can buy a house.
Adelaide's leading breakfast show.
People are waiting longer, and they're having fewer kids. This is going to be a political story before long.
Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Ray White, big name in real estate, but also the biggest name in business broking. What makes us big? Our people, like Brett Buckley and his team. MBA, lecturer, and multi-time SA Business Broker of the Year. Brett doesn't just read a P&L, he feels it. If you're selling or expanding your business, Brett can take your business apart and find you more money. And we're not talking small change. Go on, touch base with Brett. Search Ray White Business Sales SA.
Apply for a mobile card for your business today. Visit mobilecard.com.au to get discounts on mobile quality fuels, zero account fees and other exclusive benefits. Now accepted at your local 7-Eleven. Mobile Card. Your business sorted.
The Adelaide Hills are most certainly alive. So many new families are up there now making the tree change, and they just love it. They like the space, they seek change, and they also discover what is on the road less travelled. Now, if you're heading up the hills, up the freeway, take the Bridgewater exit and you'll soon be discovering the home of Nissan in the hills.
Well, right now, it's the end of financial year at Adelaide Hills Nissan, and they've got massive savings, big savings.
Okay.
Huge.
Tell me about them.
They receive, well, you will receive, thou shall receive
I like it.
1.9% finance offers on selected models plus 2-year free servicing on 23 models. Offer won't last, T's and C's apply. Why would you not head up to them, their hills?
Now, you got to do it. Take the road less travelled up to Nissan's home in the hills. Check out these magnificent savings and offers. Adelaide Hills Nissan since 1954, Mount Barker Road, Bridgewater.
Built like a brick house. Basic Trailers are your best mate for any load. Use the code FIVEAA to pay only $1 for rego on purchase of your new trailer. True blue deal at Paraka. Basic Trailers. Basically, better.
Do you want to keep doing what you love for the next 10, 15, 20 years? The Physio Co. is a mobile physiotherapy company dedicated to keeping people active throughout retirement and beyond. Their caring, qualified physios will sort everything out and visit you wherever you call home, ensuring safety, convenience and simplicity. Stay active, safe and happy and book the Physio Co. today. Just head to thephysioco.com.au. Nice shot!
Feel good health catch on with Bupa. Get up to 12 weeks free when you join on eligible products. T's and C's apply. But hurry, offer ends June 30, so search Bupa 12 weeks free today.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
It's 25 minutes to 6. It's our Footy Friday for Rusden Wines. If you want a Black Gut Shiraz for your weekend, give us a call, 8223 0000. We'll take your calls here very shortly. Brian Cunningham to join us. The 1000th Samful game at Alberton Oval will be played tomorrow. That's a very big milestone for the club. And Johnny Kelton will join us for racing.com to give us some tips.
It'll be so Adelaide to win tomorrow. We'll be calling it live and local in AA. Saturday night, Sydney are 11-1. All their stats are through the roof. Their midfield is their strength. We know all of that. But the Crows bring their best, bring the heat, get at them. Don't turn it over. Bit of ball security. I know I'm talking out my clacker. I'm rolling it in glitter and all that sort of stuff. But you've got to dare to believe. It's not blind faith. They play well against good teams. Have a look at the last four. Should have won last year. Should have, would have, could have. I had a look at that. The goal umpires for tomorrow.
Yes.
The rooster that umpired the game that was a goal and he called it a point and should have gone upstairs and it cost the Crows a top 8 and possibly a grand final. No, take that all back.
Yep.
Brodie Kenny Bell. Is that him?
Is that him? I'm not sure.
Reese Negerman. Get that right, Stephen.
No.
Negermen.
No, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think so.
All right, so Crows will win. Swans' Tom Patley spoke about flag predictions.
Yeah, we don't look at that. Mid-season's a long year, and as you know, it's happened before. I think it might have happened last year where I think Melbourne or the year before, Melbourne were going really well and they slipped away. So inside the four walls, we're working very hard to keep getting better and making that gap bigger, and we'll keep doing that.
The 11-1, Timmy, you know because you've been there many a time. Can you peak too soon?
I think there is definitely an art to coming on the up curve into September. I think that's really important.
And having a healthy list.
And his point there, he's right about keeping the head down, bum up, because he's talking about Melbourne in 22. They'd won the flag in 21 and played that incredible final in Perth. And they were 10 wins, 1 loss halfway. And it was like, well, who's going to beat Melbourne? And then they just completely fell off a cliff after that. So it can happen. And the thing is, you can get injuries, you can go away from what you were doing, and all those numbers change. So he's right. But look, Geelong did it again, didn't they, in 22?
Yep.
It was
Yeah, they
22,
went on to win the flag.
and they managed their list really well, and they just kept winning. And you said, "Oh, they'll have to fall over at some stage." No, just marched on and won. I think an incredible 16 in a row or something ridiculous like that. I think they were equal to the 95 Carlton wins in a row. So yeah, it's one that they are a side that's disciplined enough, I think, to keep doing it.
Instant feedback from that comment about I think the Crows can win and all that sort of stuff. I said roll it and glitter. This person, Tom's come out and said, has Rowey got that pig with lipstick on again? Here's Tom Papley on the Crows' strengths.
We looked at the numbers during the week, and the numbers are pretty good, and both defensively and offensively. But they're just not getting those wins on the board, which is unfortunate for them. But they're playing good footy with the numbers. They're just not getting those wins, and we'll try and implement the same stuff we do every week. And we've got some good players. Obviously, got some Isaac Rankin back, which is I have a huge amount of respect for. Gun in the competition, Jordan Dawson. So there's got some good players, and we need to be on our game.
Tommy Papley. You just see him sitting in a little office with the media manager. Now talk him up. I mean,
You reckon that's what he did?
Oh, God, he talked in riddles there.
No.
What did he actually say?
I think he was patting you on the head.
Here's him on playing the Crows at Adelaide Oval.
Home crowd, Adelaide Oval. It's never easy winning over here, and they've lost a couple of games they would like to win, especially last week against Richmond, so they'll be coming out firing for sure.
Yeah, no question. They will. They have to. They've had a searching week. We've heard from Jack Homch that training was searching. It was very physical. They've been...
I heard from Josh Rochelle as well.
Very physical.
Breakfast. Yeah.
Yep. And you get that part of their game right. They can move off the back of it. And again, I'll say it for the last time until I get with Scotty Camporelli in the pre-match. It'd be so Adelaide to win tomorrow, and I just so hope they do. And if you're going, make sure you rug up, be cold, and all that sort of stuff. Might be wet, slippy, and that'll favour us.
I've found the weather quite pleasant. It's quite mild. It's weird. You're getting only tops of say 15, but you're getting lows 11. So it's not a big gap, and I think it's nice to watch footy in.
It is. I like my Scotty Camporelli fix. We get it predominantly Tuesdays. We also get it on Channel 7 News, and it's the How. And I love. He's a numbers man. Don't get me wrong, but he watches the game well. Here's my Scotty Camporelli fix.
Their issues with holding momentum and chasing the game really worry me. In a 15-minute blitz in the third quarter against Richmond, Adelaide was beaten convincingly in contested possession and clearance, which resulted in 9 inside 50s and 5 unanswered goals. Game over. For the Crows to be any chance, this can't happen against Sydney, who's kicked 6 goals in a row 8 times this season, 3 more than any other team. And how do the Swans do this? With a born-again Brodie Grundy back to his All-Australian best in the ruck. Feeding to superstars Errol Gordon, Chad Warner and Isaac Heaney, they've gone from bottom 4 in clearances and scoring to top 2 in both. Adelaide's top end is capable of matching the Swans, but it's the second tier that was so reliable last year that needs to start performing.
Wasn't quite the fix I was after.
No.
We had no chance.
Didn't sound good?
No! Well, he's a realist.
Oh, he's very good.
He's a realist.
Yeah.
And I'm basing the Crows on past experience and likelihoods of events. We play poor against the teams we should get it done, but always rise above it against the teams that we shouldn't get it done.
We had a unique home-style food text just a minute ago saying exactly that. It's like we got opposite problems. Port, beat up on the sides they should win, and then, lack against the top 4. Crows lift against the top 4 and play unbelievable footy and then just don't get the job done at the other end. So
imagine if we amalgamated, we'd win a flag.
Let's not talk about that.
Ever. Timmy, ever again. That was ridiculous.
Might as well come over here and give us a kiss.
19-6. Let's get Brian Cunningham on and John Kelton with some tips after we check your traffic for top brand tailor-fitted men's suits and casual wear. See Ignition for Men. They're at 54 Paynham Road, Stepney.
At Woodville Park, car v motorbike, Torrens Road near David Terrace. Crash at Verdun, freeway up track near the Harndorf overpass. At Nailsworth, flooding over the road, Main North Road near Jones Street. Adabus, what about at Semaphore South? Military Road near Eaton Road. And got a camera at Delphi Terrace, Glenelg North. Harris Scarf's 4-day friend sale is on now. Save 50% or more off full-price quilts, pillows, blankets and underlays. Conditions apply. Harris Scarf, great brands, great prices. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Trumpets, please. The trumpets are sounding the final call for the Edwardstown Mazda end of financial year sale. Get our lowest ever drive-away offers, huge Mazda factory bonuses, plus an extra $2,000 trade-in bonus. And $1,000 in Edwardstown Mazda credit to spend however you'd like. The finale is fast approaching. Hurry, sale ends June 30.
It's gotta be
Edwardstown Mazda, the #1 destination for Mazda in SA.
Hi, I'm Lynn Andrews. For over 50 years, we, the Lynn Andrews team, have specialised in commercial and residential property management. But above all, we specialise in people, helping to make life easier for investors and tenants. Everyone is treated with empathy and respect. It's the way we do business. It's the Lynn Andrews way. For residential and commercial property management, we're here to help you. Visit lynnandrews.com.au.
Now, most business PC brands, look, they'll say a 4-hour service guarantee. You know what? I'll give you a ring maybe in 4 hours. But not Leader Systems. No, sirree. 4-hour service guarantee on their Leaders business range. That means they'll come to your work site and they'll have you back in business inside 4 hours.
Love them. Leader computers are made right here in Adelaide with better service, better support and a speedy turnaround time. You're dealing with people that live here. And when it comes to servicing or support, it all happens in Adelaide. Not overseas, not interstate. You don't have to pack it up. You have to, whoever your transport company is.
No,
Where is
sirree.
it now? It's not even there yet.
Get over to Franklin Street. Hurry up.
And you'll get it back the same day.
Leader Systems don't have to send anything off for repair. They can get it there, fix it up right here in Adelaide, and that's what gives you that 4-hour service guarantee on their business range. They'll have you back and running up in 4 hours. It's so good. So grow your business. Get behind a Leader. Find your local Leader dealer at leadersystems.com.au.
CMAX Clinical Research is investigating a potential treatment to help millions of people affected by autoimmune conditions. But we can't do this alone. We need proud South Australians like you to join us and make a difference. If you're aged 18 to 55 and have no significant health concerns, you may be eligible. Once you complete the trial, you'll be paid for your time. Ready to help advance tomorrow's healthcare? Visit cmax.com.au today. That's cmax.com.au.
Imagine being invisible. You could mess with someone's mind, sneak up on them, and they wouldn't know you're there. Even scare them to death. When you speed on our roads, that's what happens, because no one sees you coming. Think road safety. A message from the Government of South Australia.
It's all go at Adelaide's newest family-owned Hyundai dealer, Wayville Hyundai. This end of financial year, choose 3 years free scheduled servicing or $2,000 off in-stock vehicles. Change the way you Hyundai at Wayville Hyundai. Driven by Australian Motors. T's and C's apply.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
It's 15 to 6. Very shortly, John Kelton from racing.com to join us. It's going to be a big weekend of racing, lots of footy to be had as well, and in the SANFL, a really big milestone.
Look, it is 1,000 games of Port Adelaide playing at the Alberton Oval. Now, a lot of people have great memories of Alberton Oval moments. I'm sure there's opposition that would have great memories of, rare victories at Alberton Oval. I'm sure you can ring up about that as well. But we've also got Brian Cunningham coming on to talk about his memories of Alberton Oval and playing and, of course, being a terrific administrator. But there was a moment that perhaps you would say more infamous than famous at Alberton Oval. 1990 was the year. Port Adelaide had, on the Tuesday, been exposed as making a bid for the AFL.
Oh, yeah.
All hell broke loose. We played on the Saturday v West Adelaide at Alberton Oval. Guess who we're playing this week at Alberton Oval?
West Adelaide.
KG was calling for 5AA. He used to have to leave just that little bit early before the game because he used to do a TV show on Channel 9 and wrap up the games at 5:30. This is what happened when he left.
Port Adelaide crowd, giving KG no sort of serve. He's got a police escort.
This is quite silly.
Ridiculous.
Oh, my goodness.
It was quite silly was the statement.
Quite silly.
It was quite incredible. So we'll go now to the caller. Hello.
Brian Cunningham's joined us on the show.
Oh, Brian, how are you, mate?
Timmy,
I thought he was going to throw to Ken Cunningham.
I was calling that day with KG.
There you go.
I was calling footy.
Now, Brian Cunningham, of course. Yeah. Yes. So you were in the stand with him when it happened.
Correct. Yeah. No, we were calling, and it was 5AA. I think 5AA. I'm sure it was then. Yes. And anyhow, so KG9, and he had to leave early, and I just sat there and watched. It was amazing. It was just like wow. really, really difficult times.
Well, it was. Now, Brian, your memory, like you were working in media at the time as well as your main job, but at the time, I mean, we were all confused as players, that's for sure, about this bid for the AFL. What was it like in your mind? Did you have any sort of direction on it yourself?
Well, I knew that it was coming because I was down at the club. I was doing my job separate to that was calling footy, but then I also was working at the footy club as not the ruck coach, but the centre clearance sort of coach. So I knew a bit was going on there, and I wasn't there the night that it was declared by Bruce Webber and the board. But yeah, like it was a massive earthquake for SANFL footy at that time. It changed the landscape, and the landscape's been forever changed because out of all of that, and a long story, but cut it short, is Adelaide Crows were born, and then later on another licence became available, and for us, we were lucky enough to win that. So that was just when SANFL changed forever.
Well, you're a big part of that, but you also got terrific memories of yourself arriving to Alberton Oval to play, maybe get an opportunity to play league footy. You came from the Rosewater Footy Club, and then you played in some of the great games at Alberton Oval. And the one I remember distinctly as a kid going to was the record crowd against Norwood, and it was 1977. Well, I reckon 75 and 76 we had a dispute with the council, so we didn't play home games at Alberton, and therefore we came home in 77, and this crowd was massive. I think it was over 22,000 at Alberton Oval, and we got up by a couple of points. That was a cracking game.
Yeah, we won by 2 points. I do remember that game. It was we won the premiership in 77. We were good, and Norwood were always good as well. I just could never believe. I tell people the story. How can you fit 22,000 people in Alberton Oval? Like the mounds are tall, but not that tall. But I just honestly, they must have been cramped in that day, and we were on the ground. It was just one of those fantastic games where you just never know who's going to win, and our home ground and our crowd, I guess, just got us there by 2 points. And it's for me, it's just they were the great days of SANFL.
They certainly were. Do you have just one special game or moment on Alberton Oval in all of that, Bucky?
No, I reckon that game that Timmy's just mentioned was the biggest crowd. I think we played a lot of games there, but for me, the Alberton Oval is like home because I was born at Semaphore, raised at Rosewater, and when I was 5 years old, I used to sit on the boundary line on the other side of the ground where the new facilities are at Port Adelaide. Yeah. My dad would take me there, and he'd take me and sit me down the front at 5 years of age, and I'd sit on the boundary line watching the players. And John Carr was my favourite player at that time, and so I'd watch him with his left foot. And for me, that was the I want to be just like that, and I want to play for Port Adelaide. And by the way, I want to kick left foot as well. So I was lucky at the time with the SANFL because it had such for every club, not just Port Adelaide, but we had the under-17s and 19s and reserves and league competition. It was a massively powerful development league, and it still is. But in those days, arriving at Alberton and playing on that ground when you're 15 years of age as a colt was something special. So, Rowey, in answer to a long answer to your question, me playing my first game at Alberton Oval for Adelaide, that 17s was outstanding. Yeah.
Nah, brilliant. Brian Cunningham, thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it. I'm heading down there to Alberton Oval tomorrow, and let's hope we can get another win in our 1,000th appearance.
Good on you, mate.
Cheers. That's Brian Cunningham, an absolute legend of Port Adelaide. And, gee whiz, he lived at the back of the Oval when he was the administrator, his CEO. He lived at the back of the Oval, and he had done for years. And I remember he was selling, and he was going up to the Adelaide Hills. I said, "What are you doing that for, Brian? You live right there." He goes, "Timmy, every day I walk out my back door, I think about work because I can see it."
Oh, that's true.
It was a good call. He said there's no shutdown time.
No.
So eventually he had to move. But what a great story, eh? Rightio, let's head off to Ben. G'day,
Hello,
Ben.
Benny.
How are you?
G'day, gents. How are you?
Good.
Oh, look, I love the SANFL and the history, and I was just going to clarify, it is Port's 1000th game at Alberton, but actually some other clubs had home games at Alberton back in the day as well. Nord played a home game there, would you believe, in 1883.
No, we didn't. No, we didn't.
West Torrens had a number of games there through the 1890s as well. So I think technically it's the 1030th game there at Alberton. But obviously,
wow. Now, Benny,
Ben, that's
you're a statistician. What's the win-loss in that 1,000 games?
Wow.
I don't have my fingertips, but about 71% for Port. It's about 730 if I had to round it up to a number. So it's an extreme record. But 22,738 at that game in 1977, and it was 13,000 only at the same day when Third beat the Bays. So, they were the absolute gem days of the SNFL.
I love numbers, Ben. You get the Rusden Blackguts.
That's excellent.
How can anyone beat that?
Oh, that is amazing.
Drink it wisely. Yeah.
Benny, thank you. Rusden Blackguts coming your way.
Let's go to Noarlunga. G'day, Craig.
Hey, fellas, how are you?
Good, buddy.
Craigie.
We got Rowey, you're a star, and Mr. Hayam.
Huh?
Beg your pardon?
We've got Rowey, you're a star, and Hayam, mate. Timmy.
Ah, you're a star.
I didn't get any of that. Your voice is too high, Craig.
What he means is...
Well, I was copying you. No, I've rung up before and I said, you said 18 times in an interview at the Live Golf.
That's right.
You're a star.
You're a star.
Timmy segues, Hayam, mate.
Yes, that's right, yes.
Sorry, Craig, I'm slow
that.
to dance. Call me Sandra Sully. God, have I. I've split my sides. I'm just falling on the ground with laughter.
No, well done.
Thanks, buddy.
No, but that wasn't my call.
That's not his
point.
point.
Well, get to it, mate. We're hard up against the news.
Oh, sorry. I was just saying, have you ever noticed how Treaders in his commentators, there's one big elongated sentence where he's calling the game and doing a shout-out to the sponsor? Like, he's like, for the dominant, Paul's down 17 points on the Dave Benson Caravan scoreboard. Here's your local Dave Benson Caravan. For further info, T's and C's apply. If anyone can, Dave can. If I'm King Hinkley coming out in the second half.
That's gold,
You
Craig.
came home with a wet sail, Craig.
Yeah, well done. And you do got to weave those sponsors' names in, so I don't mind the craft, but Craig's picked up on it very quickly.
That is
Let's go here. Let's do this.
Timmy and Terry's tips.
Yes, well, we've had to let Terry go.
Oh, he's been boned.
On holiday.
Oh. I thought you clipped him.
On holiday, but for racing.com, we got Johnny Kelton on the line. G'day, Johnny.
Johnny!
G'day, boys. How are you?
Very good indeed. Now, let's have a look at... We're going to Murray Bridge tomorrow, so Terry normally gives me a couple. He normally likes to throw in one he thinks is going to win and one with a bit of value. What are you thinking, John?
Yeah, well, we've got a good day of racing up there. We've got the two racing rewards races that are worth $100,000 plus, one for 2-year-olds and one for 3-year-olds. So they're the highlights, but I'm sort of going to go around them and look for a bit of value in race 4.
Yep.
A horse called Red Patrol trained down at Mount Gambier. He's been progressing well, and he certainly won't mind a bit of the sting out of the track, which you'll get there tomorrow.
Yep, like that.
Two of the horses I thought would be quite hard to beat. In race 5, 3 Rings, young trainer Cody Ridden's got this horse going very well. He was up at Murray Bridge a couple of weeks ago where he won over this track and distance. I reckon he'll be hard to beat again.
Okay.
And my best bet of the day comes up in race 9, and I'm going with Club Bill for Richard and Chantel Jolly. This guy ran a good race first up. He was 3 wide, no cover. He stuck on pretty well. I think he'll be in the right spot tomorrow and prove pretty hard to beat.
Right, I've got to do this for, I think we have Ron, he gets upset if I don't read them out like this. It's Adelaide Race 4, number 5, Red Patrol, bit of value.
Yep.
Adelaide Race 5, number 2, 3 Rings. That's correct?
Yep, that's right.
And
then,
Adelaide Race 9, number 8.
Yep, we're going with Club Bill.
Excellent.
Yeah, hopefully Terry's just taking the top off about his ninth bentang down on the beach.
Well, look, I'm going to throw, because it's normally Terry and Tim's tips, Johnny, so I'm throwing a couple at you. Now, I'm going against you. I'm going against you in race 5, and the reason I'm doing this, it's more of an omen bet, because my wife wants to go to Italy for her 60th, that's next year, so she's been on this app that teaches you how to talk Italian. And just randomly out of the blue, she just goes, un cappuccino, and I'm thinking she's talking to me. So off she goes. So I'm going to back talking Italian in that race, number 5, Omen bet. And then
he's certainly been going pretty well lately. He's a much improved horse, so your wife could be on the money there.
Okay, race 6, number 10, Haja, is that how you say it?
Hadra.
Hadra.
Yeah, she's been flying lately. I think she'll be hard to beat also. She's only been in South Australia for 2 runs, and they've been both impressive wins.
Well, there you go, race 6, number 10. I reckon we've got it covered, Johnny. I reckon we could give him another week in Bali.
He won't mind that. And we can get 5 minutes, hopefully.
You're a winner. Good on you, Johnny.
Well done, Johnny.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Johnny Kelton
Thanks
from
a lot.
racing.com, and also Get On, which is one of my favourite shows. Love that show.
Very, very good fill-in for Terry McAuliffe. See how it goes on the weekend. Hey, tonight we are celebrating Best of SA, which has been something FIVEAA has been very proud of for the last handful of years, being able to do this today. It's our last day, and we're celebrating Maxima for looking for a job, apprenticeship, traineeship, or looking for a career change. Maxima can help you reframe what's possible. It's at the Adelaide Oval. To all the listeners that are joining us tonight, hopefully you have a wonderful evening. We'll all be down there in a few hours' time. It's going to be a great night. For the rest of us, we have a big weekend. Friday night footy up next. The Crows play Saturday night and Port Adelaide on Sunday, so you can listen to it all live across your wireless. It is time for the news. Have a great weekend.
The FIVEAA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
Ageism takes away my rights. The right to make my own decisions, be safe, and be treated with dignity and respect. Sometimes people assume I can't do something because of my age. They exclude me, and I feel invisible and sad. Ageism can lead to mistreatment, neglect, and other forms of abuse.